A woman never belongs to you. It's just your turn. You lost your edge, she lost attraction for you. That's how it works. What'd you think she was gonna do? Tell you she cheated? Men cannot afford to get complacent in relationships. Get your fat ass off the couch, start lifting weights, and learn game. You're welcome.
And now your man,
Donovan Sharpe.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 930th edition of TSR Live, your daily dose of toxic masculinity, misogyny, and small dick energy. It is Monday, February 6th of 2023. It is good to have you in today. We are streaming live, simultaneously, to YouTube, Rumble, and Sharpe Stream. So however you're watching, wherever you're watching from, thank you for making the Sharpe Reality Live a part of your daily routine. Sorry about that. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at Donovan's Den and on Instagram at Donovan Sharpe TSR. If you'd like access to over 35,000 hours of exclusive content, which includes more than 20 seasons of dating show breakdowns, head on over to sharpestream.com to sign up. In addition to all the great content, you'll get chat privileges. You'll get access to ad-free on-demand video. Also, make sure you download the Sharpe Stream app on the App Store for iOS and the Google Play Store for Android absolutely free. Make sure you enable push notifications so that you are notified when I go live on any platform like Fresh and Fit, Saucecast, Just Pearly Things, and so forth. Gentlemen, I've got a new bundle on sale for you guys who want relationships or to improve the relationships you're already in. It is my long-term relationship bundle, and it's going to change everything. First, you'll get the How to Properly Vet Women for Relationships ebook. The ebook takes you from A to Z in terms of scouting, vetting, and selecting the right candidate for a long-term potential relationship. The information in this book will save you a lot of money and a lot of heartache. Next, there's my 5-part, 7-hour audio course, How to Build a Quality Woman from the Ground Up. This instructional course teaches you how to build a woman brick by brick into what you want and need her to be, and it is packed full of extremely valuable information. Number 3, you will get the most effective and most controversial ebook, How to Train Your Woman. That's right, I said train. Train. This guide will take you through the entire process of training the bad characteristics, habits, and traits out of your candidate and training in the good traits and habits. How to Train Your Woman is essential for any man looking to fine-tune his main chick. And last, but certainly not least, you'll get our all-encompassing relationship course, Relationship Foundation Fundamentals. This video course covers the do's and don'ts of successful relationships, cultivating the right mindset for a solid, healthy relationship, how to keep the passion and romance alive, and much, much more. This bundle is valued at over $350, but for a limited time, you can get it for literally pennies on the dollar. So go to tsracademy.com to get your hands on this relationship-changing material to improve your relationship in ways you never thought possible. Link in description. Gentlemen, it is no secret that I'm a little bit of a fat ass right now. Actually, I'm a fat ass. Let's not sugarcoat it. There's no excuse for it. There's no getting around it. I got lazy. So what I am doing is I'm live streaming every single workout I do over the next 120 days. What I am also doing is taking a picture of myself every day for the next 120 days. And on day 121, I will reveal the time lapse of my transformation and introduce you to the man who made this possible, who, by the way, is Phil Foster. Dude's almost 50 years old and he's ripped to shreds. So go over and subscribe to his channel. Then go on over and subscribe to Donovan, Sharpe, etc. If you want to see this transformation happen live and in real time right before your very eyes, should be a lot of fun. Guys, you guys all know that I've always struggled with my temper and that it's gotten me into serious legal trouble in the past. Now, I didn't want the energy-sapping medications, but I had to get my anger under control. So how did I do it? Well, Happy Hippocratum from HappyHippoHerbals.com. Guys, I've used Happy Hippocratum since 2014. That's almost a decade, and it's helped me tremendously in every area. Temper control, energy, relaxation, anything you can think of, there is a kratom strain for it. I like to take a kratom shot before working out, and it gives me crazy energy. I'll pour a shot into my favorite drink, and I'm able to do 3 and 4 hour live streams. In the afternoon, I like to mix it with tea to give me focus during show prep. Pardon me. But most of the time, I do the good old-fashioned toss and wash. Listen, fellas, Happy Hippo Kratom gives me energy when I need it, and there's no crash. Then when I need to relax at the end of the day with my lady, I will take a slow kratom strain, and it helps me to relax. Especially when we're watching stuff like, The Godfather of Harlem, The Mayor of Kingstown, and Your Honor. Those are our 3 favorite shows. Happy Hippo Kratom is the highest quality. Oh, Hotep Jesus just reached out to me. Good for him. Happy Hippo Kratom is the highest quality and purest kratom on the planet, and it's not close. Guys, I've tried them all, but Happy Hippo Kratom is superior to them. Not only that, it can replace your coffee habit, it can replace your energy drink habit, it can replace a lot of unhealthy stimulants we put into our bodies. If you guys want to feel that same great, sustained, clean energy that I do, go to my affiliate link in the description and get 15% off when you use promo code HTR. That is How to Relationship. Okay, so shout out to my snipers over on the Sharpe stream side, Kyle 2020, Mark Whitmore, RP Shadow, and Chaz Man Mad. Appreciate that very, very much. Shout out to Montrell Rather. Welcome to chat privileges. At Montrell Rather to welcome him to the TSR family. If you would, Montrell, put your age and location in the chat. This is how we build real communities. You never know where someone might live. Get together, grab a few beers. A lot of guys ask, Donovan, how can I make friends with like-minded men? How can I make friends with other red pill men? This is how we do it. And so, as it's customary, shout out to Montrell Rather. Let's everybody go ahead and do an age and location check. Shout out to Desmond Montgomery with the $2 super chat. Says, marketing team A&P hard at work again. More subs. Okay, it is what it is. It is what it is. Gamer Trey with the $5 super chat says, hey, new to the channel and a bit confused. Is Devin your girlfriend's real name, or is it just an alias you play off of your name? Yes, Devin is an alias. I named her Devin because my name is Donovan. Donovan and Dev, D&D. Good question. Good question. Devin says, I missed her being doxxed, so can you dox her for me? Listen, man, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. Shout out to Benjamin Banks in the chat. Dre Raven, of course, is always in here. Matt Lambo from Crown Point, Indiana. Yeah, keep those coming, guys. Keep those coming. Keep those coming. It's very, very important to become friends with like-minded people. Okay, so let me go ahead. Oh, before I get to my first topic, we are going to react to the whatchamacallit video. But Devin and I, we took an impromptu trip out to Atlantic City over the weekend. Stayed in a really nice suite. I got some work done. She got some gambling done. I don't know why it's... Oh boy. All right. Give me a second here. Hang on a second. Hold up. I got to transform it. I got to rotate this. Let's go to rotate 90 degrees clockwise. There we go. All right. Let's see if it plays that again. Nope. Come on now. Well, I was trying to give you guys... I guess it's not going to let me do it. Huh, that's weird. Okay, well, either way, we had a real nice weekend. Real nice weekend in Atlantic City. You guys can check that out on check my Instagram, check my Twitter. I've got pictures of that stuff. So Garman85 says, Donovan, you win anything in the casino? No. I don't know, $6 maybe. I think Devin won like $100. I remember the last time we went to Atlantic City, the first night we were there, Devin won $1,500. $1,500. She has the best luck at casinos. It's the craziest thing. Maybe that's why she likes to gamble. I don't know. Either way, let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room. And so, a lot of you may have heard or are privy to an event that happened a little earlier in the day. And for those of you who are unaware of what I'm talking about, allow me to turn your attention to the video. And away we go.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe. Coming to you live. There we go. Very good. Yeah, I'm about to, I'm actually getting ready to walk into the gym, and I'm just going to tell Devin we're going to get married. I'm not going to ask
This is funny as shit.
her. I'm just going to be like, hey, we're getting married. That's all there is to it. Hang on a second. What do you think, Chester? We good? All right. All right, so here goes. Go through the laundry room. Of course, Devin sucks at laundry. Hey. Hey. Hey, we're getting married. Yeah. You look overjoyed. Wave to the people. All right, that's it. All right, that's it.
That's funny. Do you hear her?
That's how you do it.
That's funny. Her trainer in the background was laughing.
That's how you do it. You just tell her. You just tell her it is what it is. Now, here's the deal. We're getting married, but we're not getting legally married. No way I would ever get legally married. We're gonna do the private marriage thing, and I will explain. I'll explain more on my live stream today at 3:30. Thanks for all the congratulations. You guys take care.
All right, and so, let me. There we go.
Playing around, but the reason why.
Whoa. So I guess, you know, a lot of guys will invariably or inevitably ask the question, why? Why in the world are you marrying Devin? Well, the first thing I'm going to make very, very clear. Is that Devin and I are going to have the ceremony. We are not getting the state involved. We are not getting the government involved. We're not getting the state or the government involved. We are just simply going to have a ceremony. What's otherwise known as private marriage or off-schedule marriage, whatever the case may be. No paperwork is going to be signed or any of that stuff. Now, I know a lot of people will come at me with, you know, listen, I know a lot of wannabe lawyers. Well, legally, she can still blah. Look, check this out. We live in a state, Devin and I, the state of New Jersey, that does not recognize common law marriage. Number one. Number two, the state that we will move to, Nevada, also does not recognize common law marriage. Now, some people will say, well, if they can prove there's a ceremony, they can prove a marriage. No. Nope. Now, keep in mind that, guys, look, nothing is 1,000% foolproof. Nothing is bulletproof, guys. All I can do as a man is do my very best to mitigate the risk as much as possible. That's all I can do. A lot of guys fantasize over the idea of a risk-free relationship. There is risk in every relationship, whether there is paperwork involved or not. My legal risk is not completely eliminated, at least. I mean, as far as I know, it's completely eliminated. But again, I mean, maybe there's a loophole somewhere, whatever the case may be. But if there is, you know, listen, she's going to have to find a lawyer to really, really find one. That's the first thing. The second thing I will tell you is that I have a fund set aside for Devin should we decide to go our separate ways. If I decide to leave, I have a very nice sized nest egg for her. I'm going to let her keep the Range Rover. The Range Rover's in my name, but I will sell to her for $1. And she'll have a nice nest egg. She'll have a nice vehicle completely paid for. She'll have the pink slip. And again, she's an SEO expert of almost 2 decades standing. So not too bad. And that's actually one of the secondary reasons I got her a set of fake tits. I got her a set of fake tits, number one, because I just wanted her to have fake tits. She looks better with fake tits. The second thing is listen, she's 46 years old, and should I decide to leave, I wanted to at least give her a fighter's chance to maybe find a guy of minimal value. Very, very tough to do at her age, but, being in good shape, having, nice firm fake boobs increases her odds, even if it's minuscule. The second thing I'm going to let you guys know is that this doesn't change anything. Our relationship will stay exactly the same. It'll be exactly the same. The only difference is that she will be my wife and I will be her husband. That's it. It's really just the label. Here's another thing. This wedding is not guaranteed to happen. Listen, man, there is a lot that can happen between now and the fall, which is when the wedding is going to be. There is a lot that can happen between now and the fall. She could fuck up. I could decide to leave. If things stay the way they are and neither one of us decides to go our separate ways, the wedding will absolutely, positively go off. Right? Now, Heads Up Fiction says, will she take your last name? Yes. She is going to go to the, what she's going to do is she is going to go to the Social Security Administration. She's going to get her name changed. That's just how this works. So we will both have the same last name. To the world, we will appear to be married. Same last name, same residence. We're together. She's going to wear a wedding ring. I'm going to wear a wedding ring. The only difference is there's just not going to be any paperwork. There's not going to be any paperwork. Lorenzo Rock says, will we get to see it live? Probably. Which leads me to the next announcement. So, also coming to the wedding, we are inviting all of our Manosphere friends to the wedding. On the female side, the bridesmaids, as you guys can probably imagine, Tallulah, Pearl, Janelle. I always forget one. Tallulah, Pearl, Janelle, and the maid of honor. The maid of honor, she actually, right after I did that video, Allie called up Dev and said, hey, I would love to be your maid of honor. And Devin said, absolutely. So Devin's maid of honor is going to be Allie, real femme sapien. Real femme sapien is going to be the maid of honor. My best man, and this was the news that I got on the air the other day that I was so excited about. My best man is going to be Myron Gaines. Myron Gaines has agreed to be my best man at our wedding. Like I said, the bridesmaids are going to be the red pill ladies of the house. Myron is going to be my best man. I have no idea who my groomsmen are going to be. Dude, I have so many. Oh my God. I don't even, Jesus. I mean, I got a lot of guys that could be my, could definitely be be a groomsman. I'm going to have to whittle the list down. I'm going to have to whittle the list down, but yeah. So yeah, we're going to, we're going to have the wedding dress and we're going to have the cake and all this other kind of stuff. We're going to have the cake and listen, we're going to do it up. We're going to do the dance and all that stuff. And so listen, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, the reason I'm marrying Devin, she's earned it, guys. She's earned it. Clearly, she has earned it. We've been together for 7 years, gentlemen. 7 years. And she has never not done what I ask her to do. Everything I ask her to do, she does it without hesitation. Well, there are some things she would like to hesitate on, but she does it anyway. She trusts me implicitly. She represents me well in public. She's fit. She's feminine. She's friendly. We get along great. What else is there? I mean, obviously, she's paid her dues, right? I vetted her. I trained her. Even if she was faking it till she made it, guess what? This is who she is now. It's been 7 years. It's been 7 years. It's hard to fake anything for 7 years. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but at this point, listen, anything's possible, but at this point, it's far more likely than not that Devin will just all of a sudden. Now, is it possible that Devin goes feral for no reason at all? Absolutely. It's absolutely possible. Me marrying Devin does not guarantee anything. It doesn't guarantee anything. It doesn't guarantee that we're going to be together forever. Doesn't guarantee that our relationship is going to get, it doesn't guarantee that our relationship is, no. Nothing will change in our relationship except for the title. Nothing will change. Nothing will change except for the title, right? But Devin deserves it. Devin deserves it. She has, and obviously, first and foremost, she helps me with my business. She runs literally the entire back end of the Sharpe Reality Live podcast. Again, she's built 4 of my websites. She built, maintain, administrates the app. She does all that. Patreon, all that. Now, could I have gotten to this point without Devin? Absolutely. Of course. But it would be disingenuous of me to say that her being a part of this didn't make the journey a little more enjoyable and kind of sped things up. I could have gotten this point without her. It probably would have taken me a little longer and cost me a lot more. And of that, I am extremely, extremely grateful. And that's really, to be honest with you guys, that's really the reason why I have contingencies set aside if I should decide to leave. Devin has helped me with this business. She's an instrumental, important part of what I do. And if I decide to leave for whatever reason, again, as men, we are fair-minded, we are just. We're also bountiful. Devin's earned it, guys. She's earned it. And so at this point, she deserves the title of wife. She acts like a wife. She takes on the of a wife, and she has proven now for over 7 years that she can be a wife. And so at this point, it's only fair that I give her the title. She's earned it. Now, that doesn't mean, again, that she has earned it forever. That doesn't mean she has earned it forever. She could lose that title in the blink of an eye. You guys know that I say success is never owned, it is leased. And rent is due every single day. You don't own success. You don't own a woman, you don't own a man. You don't own a woman's commitment and affections, you don't own a man's commitment and affection. She has still got to earn it every day. And if she ever slips up, she's out the door. And she knows that. But at this point, she has done more than enough for more than long enough for me to give her the respect of being called a wife. She deserves it. She's earned it. And I'm very, very happy. I'm very, very happy to be able to give her the privilege of being Mrs. Sharpe. Shout out to Heads Up Fiction. Welcome to Chat Privileges. At Heads Up Fiction to welcome him or her to the TSR family. Heads Up Fiction, if you would, put your age and location in the chat. Appreciate that very much. Yeah, Devin said terrible timing. It is what it is. I don't care. Malik with the $10 super chat says, yo, just came over from Pearl's channel because you left us hanging with that story. So what happened when you went back to NC? Did you get to visit your ex again, or did you stay with your brother and never went back? No, I never went back to North Carolina, fam. Like, I never went back to North Carolina. I mean, I was never a resident in North Carolina again. I think I've been back 2 or 3 times. I think once, on a layover in Charlotte, but no, I was never went back there again. Montreal Rather said, I tried to put my last comment as a super chat, pardon me, but YouTube is tripping. Yeah, I know. YouTube is tripping. King Life said, Groomsman, Jap, Rollo, Fresh, ACP, and Mo. That's actually a pretty good group. King Life says, Myron is going to look like he just walked in from doing a podcast. Myron always looks like he just walked in from doing a podcast. That's what I love about Myron. He is a minimalist to a fault. I think in his closet, it's just nothing but fresh and fit t-shirts. And of course the chukka boots. Did you see Jay with the 100 Canadian dollar super chat? Says, congratulations, big guy. Take care. I greatly appreciate that. Greatly appreciate that. No, Devin is not going to wear a white wedding dress. Part of the reason she's not going to wear a white wedding dress is, well, because the things that I've done to her in the bedroom wouldn't really qualify her. I think her wedding dress is going to be pink or something like that. So we'll see what happens. Jay Blaze says, will it be a Miami ceremony? Yes. The wedding is going to be in Miami. It is going to be in Miami. It's going to be in the fall. And again, guys, I don't know. Details are forthcoming. The only thing I know at this point is that the wedding is going to be in Miami. Allie of Real Femme Sapien is the maid of honor. Myron Gaines is going to be my best man. That's all we have planned at this point. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. Another reason why I'm doing this is really because I kind of want to show the world that here in the manosphere, some of us are pro-relationship. Yes, we know relationships are fucked up. We know that it's high risk. We know, listen, we've seen the stories. We get it. But I want to show the world that, hey, you know what? At the end of the day, man, men and women are better together. The right man and the right woman are better together. That's just really what it comes down to. And to show the world that we're not incels or woman haters, yeah, why not? So, yeah, Mike Steele says this is epic. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Vaughn says borrow Fresh's Rolls Royce. No, that's okay. Dude, oh my God. Oh my goodness gracious. CJ from the 562 says, will you stream it? Possibly. So shout out to Devin. Everybody. Like I said, man, she has been everything that I want and need. And the reason why she has been everything I want and need is because of this guy. Devin will be the first to tell you. She'll be the first to tell you that I have drastically and exponentially improved her life in absolutely every conceivable way. That's why when I told her we were getting married, I knew she was not going to say no. So congratulate. You're not going to have to congratulate me. Congratulate Devin, because being with a guy like me is not easy. Being with a guy like me for 7 years is damn sure not easy. She's paid her dues, and she deserves her flowers. And Devin doesn't ask for much. She does not ask for much. She doesn't ask for expensive gifts. She just doesn't. Dude, she asked me for a $300 hoodie the other day. I was like, oh yeah, absolutely. She doesn't ask for anything. She really doesn't. And so for me to be able to give her the gift of to be able to give her the gift of an elevated commitment, so to speak, not permanent, at this point, I'm happy to do it because, of course, she has earned it. She has absolutely earned everything that she has ever gotten from me. And so to business. So, Myron and Sneako recently debated a bunch of feminists. And it looks like Sneako, I guess Sneako is he filling in for Fresh? Okay, all right. Damn, I didn't know Fresh wasn't in this. Okay. And so, away we go. Oops. Little anticlimactic there. Sorry about that.
Go. So, ladies, we're going to go around the panel, and we'll start here. So, the questions are your name, your age, your dating status, and, of course,
your body count.
And we'll start here.
Sneako, this is funny. This is awesome. So, Sneako clearly is acting just like Fresh. So, ladies, give us your name, your age, and if you want to, your body count. And we're going to start right here. 100K on the way. Let's go.
So my name is Aaron, and I'm 24. And what else did you ask?
Okay, so I have procured pictures. Of the ladies' Instagrams. I procured the pictures of the ladies' Instagram. If they had a questionable Instagram, I just pulled a couple of pictures off there. So we're still going to take a look at their Instagrams as necessary. So this is this woman speaking now.
Your dating status?
I'm single.
Okay.
What do you do for work?
For work, primary education. I have my degree in biology.
Okay, cool. Where'd you get your undergrad at?
UTRGV.
Okay. UTR, you said?
RGV.
Where's that?
Is South Texas.
Who the hell is that?
Rio Grande Valley.
Rio Grande Valley.
Where are you from? McAllen or what?
956, yeah.
I don't know why she would put
McAllen.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. I used to live in Laredo, so very familiar. All right, cool.
Couldn't see her face. I don't know why she's not allowing us to see her face, but I don't know who the hell that is. But I guess that's her. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
And you said it was in what again? Biology?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What about you?
Hello, I'm Azariel. People call me Z for short. I'm 24. I am single. And what was the last question?
24 and single. This girl is beautiful, actually. She is quite attractive. But she needs to grow out her hair. So nothing too alarming. She doesn't really have many posts. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Well, there's a tattoo. There's tattoo number one. Let's see if any other. Yeah. Oh my God, if her hair was grown out, if she would grow her hair out, oh boy, look at this. Ay. There we go. Look at that. Tattoo number 2. Ay. Oh boy. What a waste, man. What a waste. She's highly attractive. She's young. She seems feminine and demure, but unfortunately, she has a tattoo, which means what, Devin?
She belongs to the streets.
That's right.
Where are you
What do you
from?
work?
And where do
I'm
you work?
from New Jersey, Patterson, New Jersey, born and
Oh,
raised.
shout out New Jersey.
Patterson.
Wait, Patterson?
Yeah.
Holy.
Red flag.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Yeah.
Isn't that where
Betty
God damn it, Fetty Wap is from? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So single, Patterson, New Jersey. What do you do for work?
Oh, I'm a model, full-time artist.
You
Cool.
been in Vogue?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Fair enough.
Pass the test.
And what's your highest education level completed?
High school.
High school. All right. Cool. What about you?
Hi, I'm Zara. I'm 27. I'm a cosmetologist.
Okay, so this is Zara. She's 27 and a cosmetologist. Her Instagram Her Instagram was pretty tame in terms of adult content, but you guys can still see. And if you look at her lips, dude, she's got huge freaking lips. Of course, when you've got pictures like this, off balconies, etc., etc. Oh my God. Dude, L on those lips. L lips. L lips. But yep, she's in a car in a bikini, which means what?
She belongs to the streets.
Not the worst hoe Instagram I've ever seen, but I think it's clear. I think it's clear that she is still absolutely 304.
And I'm single.
Okay. Where are you originally from?
I'm Lebanese.
Well, I mean,
Lebanon.
Where'd you?
Oh, Michigan.
Okay. Is that where you went to high school?
Fortson High School.
Well, she grew up in Michigan. That explains why she's in Miami.
School, yeah.
Okay. You went to high school. Where are you from? Dearborn, Detroit.
Dearborn Heights.
Dearborn.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
And how old are you?
27.
Wait. What? Are you? Did you grow up Muslim?
I am Muslim, yeah.
Haram!
Why is your hair not covered?
Haram!
Relax.
See that? See that? Women approach religion the same way they approach life. They'll claim that they're Muslim or whatever, but then they leave out the bits that are inconvenient. She's Muslim, but here she is. Like, you couldn't tell. Like, dude, honestly, you can look at her Instagram. You wouldn't, like, you would never be able to tell that she's Muslim. That's definitely haram. Definitely haram.
Oh, don't get the stones!
Allahu Akbar!
All right. So, single relationship.
Single.
Okay.
Damn, everybody's single.
Yeah, better be.
Oh, she wants a man.
Okay. And then what do you do? You said you're cosmetologist, Dearborn, single. Oh,
Yes.
highest education level completed.
Hold on. Undergrad. My associates.
Oh, okay.
In
Associates.
general study, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike Steele asks a very good question. He says, why do women think we want lips like that? Dude, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know, man. Like, nobody wants I mean, I don't get it, man. I do not get it. I don't understand. Listen, Botox here and there to plump up the lips a little bit, maybe some filler, whatever the case may be, that's fine. You know, you're trying to stave off the signs of aging, but this chick's only 27. This chick's only 27. And her lips are so big they could be used really as sort of a life-saving flotation device. Jay Blaze says the Kardashians, yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Ay.
All right. Cool. What about you?
I'm Nikki. I'm 21. I'm from Marblehead, Ohio.
Okay.
Now, I didn't see this chick's Instagram, so we'll see.
I'm single and I'm in college right now for criminal law.
Okay. You're pursuing your bachelor's degree?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And do you want to drop where you go to school? It's up to you. You don't have to.
Bowling Green.
What?
Bowling Green
Where's that?
in Bowling Green, Ohio.
Okay. Fair enough. And
I thought, wow, you didn't know where Bowling
then
Green was, huh?
you said you're from Ohio. High school is your high. Single relationship.
What I do for work? You want?
No,
I'm single.
like single. Okay. And then, do you work or are you full time single?
Yeah, I work at a law firm and I also build group homes in Toledo, Ohio.
Oh,
Cool.
Nice.
all right.
All right.
Hey, man, hey, she builds group homes. I'm good with that.
And what part of Ohio you are from? One more time.
Marblehead, Ohio.
Marblehead. Okay. What about you?
My name is Sophia. I'm 23.
Oops.
OnlyFans?
How you know?
Yeah. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
She said, my name is Sophia. I'm 23. Sneako says, OnlyFans? How do you know? We just know. We just know. Look, check this out. Yes, there is a Bowling Green. There is a Bowling Green, Kentucky as well. It's so funny. We can just look at a woman and tell that she has OnlyFans. Like the girls that come to and listen, OnlyFans girls come in all shapes, sizes, colors, etc. But it's not hard to tell. It's just not hard to tell. I've been saying this for years, guys. I've been saying this for years. If a woman is even mildly attractive, if a woman is even mildly attractive, chances are she's probably a sex worker. She's probably a sex worker. Yes, OnlyFans girls are sex workers. They are sex workers just like spicy movie stars, just like pole dancers, just like cocktail waitresses, escorts, etc. If your primary audience and clientele is men, then you are a sex worker. The only time you can be considered a model is if your primary clientele is females. That's the difference between Giselle Bundchen and chicks like this.
I'm an artist that's currently doing OnlyFans, but a future entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur.
An artist currently doing OnlyFans and a future entrepreneur. Now, clearly, I think you guys probably know and understand that her Instagram, definitely not safe for YouTube. However, there's her picture right there. And where is she at? On a boat. What does that mean, Devin?
She belongs to the streets.
There you go. There she is. There she is on a boat. There she is on a boat. Any chick that is on the boat,
She belongs to the streets.
then she just said she is an artist that currently does OnlyFans. Boy, is she ever drinking the Coca-Cola. Wow. CEP3 Gaming with the $20 super chat. Say, can we normalize saying where you're actually effing from instead of your ethnic background? How low IQ are we today, ladies? Yes, I agree with that, CEP3 Gaming. But the reason why women like to use their ethnic backgrounds is because it makes them somehow different or unique, right? You'll notice that, listen, a good portion of these girls are from Miami. They don't want to be like the other girls, so mine, just like I was talking about, well, I'm Jamaican or I'm Haitian. That's your ethnicity. That's your ethnicity. That does not mean that you are from Jamaica. That's just all there is to it. That's all there is to it. Appreciate that, CEP3 Gaming. Ken Rose with the $5 super chat says, congratulations. Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Can you spell entrepreneur?
E. No, I'm just looking.
Oh, right. Fantastic.
Wait, no,
Oh, she said
E-N-R.
Bitch said E.
ENR
Yeah.
Oh, my
P.
Earned.
Something like that.
Entrepreneur.
I guess you're an entrepreneur.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ. This bitch said ENR.
What's your highest education level completed?
No.
High school and a bunch of courses.
A bunch.
Okay, I'll put high
so wait
school.
about-
Single, relationship, sugar daddy, married.
I know.
This is funny. She purposely has the microphone pushed away from her so that she has to bend over to see it. Ay, ay, ay.
What are you?
I'm the sugar daddy.
You're the sugar daddy,
I'm
okay.
currently in a relationship currently.
And you're paying for him?
What do you mean?
You're the sugar daddy.
No, I make money off of him.
So you're not
So
the sugar daddy.
what?
He's the
I
sugar
make
daddy.
money off of him.
So he's the sugar daddy.
No.
Do you know what that word means?
No.
Okay.
No,
you-
I'm
Stupid. I'm not
No,
gonna let
I
you
like
beat the.
This bitch has no idea what the word sugar daddy means, but she's sure that she was the sugar daddy.
money off
chance.
of him.
You what? Can you go
I'm managing
to the mic?
I'm managing his OnlyFans.
Oh, you say y'all like
I'm changing the game.
So
Change the
wait.
game.
you're pimping him.
Okay. So do you have the OnlyFans or does he have the OnlyFans?
We both do, but I manage his OnlyFans. And
Okay.
I manage other people's OnlyFans too.
Okay. So he has an OnlyFans, you have one, but you manage his,
Yes.
and he's your
And I
boyfriend.
manage all the money.
Okay. Okay. And he's your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Okay. How long you been together?
Like 2 weeks. Maybe a week.
Okay.
like, oh, boy.
She's
I don't
with-
even know what to say. Okay.
Oh,
All
my
right.
God.
Committed
What-
relationship.
Yeah, very committed. Shout out to our boy Troy in the fucking back, by the way, man.
Hey!
But Chris, as usual, not.
Hey guys.
Chris will switch the camera for y'all so you guys can see him. Shout out to Troy in the back. There he is, the British guy in the back. He just popped in, man. I didn't even know where he was. He's just like, hey, mate, I'm here. So I was like, all right, so what's up?
Good
All right,
stuff.
so you got a boyfriend for a week, and then
2 weeks.
high school. My bad, 2 weeks. You're an OF.
I'm changing
All right,
the
where's he
game.
from? Miami.
I was born and raised in Miami,
That's
and my
obvious.
parents, huh?
Nothing. You're from
no,
Miami.
say I don't mind.
No, I said
wanna
it's
hear.
obvious you're from Miami. So
I know,
continue.
yeah, like the accent, right?
Yeah.
But my
Dude, Oh my God. And you, oh my God, dude. And you wonder why we don't deal with these chicks, man. God, our detractor, why doesn't Donovan have a 23-year-old wife? Why isn't he spinning 20-year-old plates? You guys are watching why. The bitch can't even, dude,
My parents are from Argentina.
Okay. Awesome. What about you?
Hi, y'all. I'm Love Lala.
Hey, y'all.
Is
Hey,
that your government
y'all.
name? First name Love, last name Lala?
You know it's not my government. You asked me this
okay, so I couldn't find this girl's Instagram.
last time.
Yeah. You've been on a show before?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, you
Okay.
rap, right?
Yeah, I do music.
Oh, you have.
I also model.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 23.
Okay.
Some college, in school for dental assisting, and I work in a hotel as well.
Can you drop a verse for us?
Oh, please don't.
Hey, yo, I've been going through it. You just never even knew. I had to hold myself down because I know how I get to it on the road every day.
I'm sorry. Do you see what I see? Do you see what I see? Let's go back. Let's go back. And let's key in on Miss
Ignorant.
Let's just key in on her because she is displaying some very, very interesting, shall I say, body language?
I'm college, in school for dental assisting, and I work in a hotel as well.
Can you drop a verse for us?
Hey, yo, I've been going through it. You just never even knew. I had to hold myself down because I know how I get to it on the road every day. I'm just trying to make a way. Link in bio, though.
Did you see how quickly she went from hood rat to white girl? Watch. Just watch how quickly she goes from white girl. Look, she's white girl right here.
Yeah, I do music.
She's white
Oh, you
girl.
have
I
Now
also
watch.
model.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 23.
Just watch.
Okay.
But look, she's white girl. She's, feminine, demure. Right? I mean, she's as dumb as a flat tire, but she looks good.
Some college, in school for dental assisting, and I work in a hotel as well.
Can you drop a verse for us?
Hey, yo, I've been going through it. You just never
She went
even knew. I
right
had to
into it.
hold myself down because I know how I get to it on the road every
Now she's
day. I'm
hood.
just trying to
Now
make
what? Now watch how quickly she goes back to the white girl mode.
a
Watch.
way.
Look.
Link in
Look,
bio, though.
Bing, just like that. Just like that. Just like that. She went from white girl to ratchet back to white girl just like that. Made it absolutely seamless. I gotta see a little bit. Look. I know what you guys are thinking. But I gotta see a little bit more. I gotta see a little bit more before I start making these assertions. Let's be fair, right? We all believe in due process, so let's give her due process. But strike one.
We're gonna put my.
What the hell? That was like 3 bars.
I'm not trying to take all the air, but if you want me to, I can do it.
No, please don't.
Got that?
Keep going.
Spit your shit.
Wait, what did she say?
Hell, that was like 3 bars.
I'm not trying to take all the air, but if you want me to, I can do it.
Got that?
Keep going.
Spit your shit. Benz coupe, Chanel shoes, got Chanel shoes in the Benz coupe. You can't tell what I've been through. I make this shit look simple. I'm so official. Diamonds on me, I'm trying to figure still sun up. I'm grinding, nigga, your man on me. It's a problem with you. My bands up, my fans up, my wrist glowing, this bust down. My hair long, ain't never wrong. They hating on me, it's a problem now. Said this was my last cup.
Hey.
My face down and my ass up. These opportunities can't pass up. See me riding off in a Benz truck.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
All right. Single relationship for the street.
That was trash, y'all. That was trash.
So what's your status?
Yeah, Heads Up Fiction says she dances like a white girl too. Yeah. She dances like a white girl trying to dance black. Yeah, we see that all the time.
Streets.
Yeah. The streets?
She belongs to the streets.
Okay.
I'm single right now.
Single? Okay. Face down, ass up. I would hope so. Have you mad as hell about your boyfriend? Okay. And where are you originally from?
Brooklyn.
AK Brooklyn.
Wow. Big
Okay. Oh boy.
To the streets.
Okay.
I'm single right now.
Single? Okay. Face down, ass up. I would hope so. Have you mad as hell about your boyfriend? Okay. And where are you originally from?
Brooklyn.
She fucks niggas, y'all. I'm trying to tell you, hashtag SFNY. She fucks niggas, y'all. She fucks niggas, y'all. Look, man. Look. A white girl who has never fucked with the brothers is never comfortable doing that kind of stuff on camera. Right? Like, if a white girl has never messed with a brother, if she's never had an experience with a black man, they never, ever do this kind of stuff. They're very uncomfortable with it. But the fact that she just so freely... I mean, dude, she's up here throwing up gang signs. She fucks niggas, y'all. Wow, that didn't take long, did it?
AK Brooklyn.
Wow. Big
Okay.
news.
Welcome back.
Hi, I'm Zena the Muslim now.
Okay. How old are you, Zena?
I'm 27.
Haram.
Where are you originally from?
I'm from Akron, Ohio, originally.
Uh-huh.
Wow, Zena's
Shame.
from Akron.
Sorry.
Yeah, sucks, I know.
Yeah, but I'm from Akron, Ohio. I live in Brickell, Miami,
Yep,
Florida.
this is Zena.
What do you do for work?
Honestly,
Oh, by the way, guys. By the way, I'm going to be releasing some behind-the-scenes footage on Patreon. And some of that behind-the-scenes footage was Zena dancing. Let's just say that Zena is talented and very flexible. I'm just going to leave it at that. Stay tuned.
I work for the Fresh and Fit podcast. That's it.
That's a great place to work.
Yeah, it's
But what
fabulous.
else, though, do you do, Zena?
Don't play with me.
Oh, yeah, Dr. B84 was there. Yep, you saw it.
I don't do anything.
Shout out to JC. Welcome to Chat Privileges. At JC, to welcome him to the TSR family. JC, if you would, put your age and location in the chat. Yeah, Darius Horton says, it's so sad. Zena is fine as hell, but still too much. Dude, Zena's a bad bitch. Like, she is hot. But she is also a hot mess. It is what it
Anything
is.
else?
Tell the people what you do.
Okay,
Haram!
I originally did fraud. I was a scammer. I was a yammer.
You're gonna go all the way.
You did your time? Yeah, I did 2 years. Well, I did 16 months, whatever.
Whoa! Wow. I mean, I knew she was a convicted felon. I didn't know she did time. Goddamn.
Yeah, I used to dance. I don't dance thanks to Fresh and Fit. I quit OnlyFans too. So
Oh, wow.
All right. Well,
Well, that's... Look, man, it sounds like Fresh and Fit took her off the streets. Shout out Fresh
yeah,
and
she's a
Fit.
convicted felon, guys. So, and then what's your relationship status?
I am married.
Congratulations.
Are you going to add to the back to that or something like that? Or
Yeah, to
like every typical Miami girl? No?
To God.
To God. Okay. And then let's see here. All right. And then that's it.
Yeah, Miss Argentina also, she has what we call static slut face. She also she has static slut face. Every time we see Miss Argentina, she's ugh.
Yeah.
What about you?
My name is Jessie. I
Welcome.
am thank you. 19 forever, I say, but technically 32.
Oh.
Take her cup.
Okay.
So, this is Yesenia. She actually was at the Fresh and Fit 1 million party. Very, very nice lady. Now, you guys might not recognize her. However, she was on the Fresh and Fit that Tommy and I were on. Tommy and I were on together, the Fresh and Fit after hours, and Yesenia was to my left. And Tommy absolutely went in on her. So much so that she actually cried. Her Instagram is not necessarily safe for YouTube, but I do know that she is a single mother of 3. And so I'm wondering, if she's a single mother of 3, who was looking after her kids during the Fresh and Fit 1 million party? Who's looking after her kids now? Right? Who's looking after her kids in this picture? Who's looking after her kids with this picture? It's unbelievable. I swear to God, dude, today's single mothers seem to have more time to do hoe shit than they were single. Like, single moms do hoe shit at a higher rate than regular hoes do. Yeah, Nina definitely cried, yeah.
Where are you originally from originally?
The Bronx.
And make no mistake, guys, Nina's a hoe just like all the rest of them, y'all. Nina's a hoe she's a hoe just like all the rest of them. Dude, she was rubbing up on Sneako. Like, it was, Nina tries to come off as this good girl and like, oh, I don't know. Nina knows. I don't even know what Nina looks like anymore. It's just ass. Just like this. When we think Nina, we think, boy, that's a lot of stretch marks on a tight ass for a little girl.
New York.
Okay.
I live downtown Miami.
Cool.
I do everything. Photography, nails, hair, makeup. I have my hands in real estate. I'm working on building my financial profile through stocks and bonds. And yeah.
Yeah, shout out Thought Mommies in the Club.
Cool. What's the main source of revenue?
I have a lot. I mean, I have
the number one
will be my hospitality, where I served you in Brickell, SLS.
Oh,
you did what?
Hi, welcome. May I interest you in a menu?
I think she works at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Sneako's like, bitch, I don't remember you.
SLS in Brickell?
Yeah.
Wait, where do you do?
She works at the pool.
Yeah, but they don't have pool parties like that.
I was just showing at the pool.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, Nina has an OnlyFans. Like, dude, it's like that. Like, I cannot stand it. Dude, girls like Nina are just,
We actually do.
Pool side, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
shit.
definitely
Okay.
Yeah, then she tried to pull that as a woman of color. I had to check her on that. I said, Nina, don't even do that.
Let me know. I can get you a cabana for free.
Okay, I didn't know that they throw pool parties like that.
Yeah.
Like SLS in Miami Beach, they do, but
It wasn't
not.
a party. I was just chilling at the pool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Man, who gives a fuck if you just showing up? Okay.
She brought it up.
What's your relationship status?
Very single. Actually, I'm committed to gold, but
To gold or
to
goals?
my goal.
Oh, to your goals.
What's your
Yeah.
goal?
Translation. As a single mother of 3, I know that I will never lock down a man of value. So I'm going to say I'm committed to goals. This is what Rolla likes to call making your necessity a virtue. She can't have a man, so she says, I don't want a man.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
Getting more real estate and making a bigger bag.
Where are you originally from? Oh, you said the Bronx, right? All right, cool.
Yeah.
And you are single. All right, what about you?
Hi, I'm Pixie. I'm 23.
Is your first name, is that your government name, Pixie?
No, it's not my government
Okay,
name.
just curious. All right, how old are you?
I'm 23.
Okay.
I'm a recent college grad.
Okay. What'd you graduate in?
I have 3 degrees, one in economics, philosophy.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and make an assertion right here just based on what I see on her Instagram.
She belongs to the streets.
Not only that, I would go as far as to say this woman, as far as body count is concerned, she's probably up near the top in body count. Girls who look like this, semi-innocent, kind of naughty, right? Semi-innocent, kind of naughty. You see, it's just kind of like, Girls like this get absolutely ran through. They get absolutely ran through. Absolutely ran through. Yeah. A Dr. B84 says 50 plus easily. Absolutely. Absolutely. This girl's body count is well over 50. You can spot it immediately.
And then a bachelor's of science in psychology with a specialization of behavior analysis.
Where'd you get your BA from?
I got it from the University of Florida.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Kid.
From the University of Florida.
Cheers.
Yes.
Cool. Fuck the Seminoles, right? Okay. Where are you originally from?
I'm from Puerto Rico.
You're like really Puerto Rican, or?
Yeah, I was born and raised there for 18 years and
wow.
then moved to the States for college.
All right. Cool.
Are you still a she they?
Yes, I'm still a she there.
Okay.
Kyle 2020 says the scouter blows up because her body count.
It's over 9,000.
I had her on my stream.
Wait, what?
Well, I had them on my stream, and we had a little debate.
So wait, you identify as two genders?
No, the opposite. I think gender is kind of silly, but that's why I don't really care what people call.
She's one of those. She's one of those. Yep, there you go. She's got a psych degree. She's been indoctrinated by college. And she thinks gender is just silly. Ay, ay, ay.
Call me.
God help us.
Bruh.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, we'll keep going. All right, so you're from Puerto Rico. Only right here, she, they, so I don't offend you.
It's funny. She seems very pretentious and condescending.
All right, she, they, and then what do you do for work?
I'm streaming currently.
Streamer. Okay. Twitch. What's your main thing? Twitch, YouTube.
Twitch.
All right. You play video games or what?
I just talk politics online.
Okay, we got a Hassan wannabe. Fantastic.
When did you decide that? When you were on my stream, you weren't committed to streaming yet. Is this new?
I streamed previously, and now I'm starting to get back into it. I'm not sure if I want to make it my whole life career. I have other things that I'm interested in, but for now, that's what I'm doing until I find a job that I'm more interested in.
You got 3 degrees though, man. This should be easy. All right.
This bitch has 3 degrees. Ay, ay, ay.
And then single relationship.
Single.
Okay.
And body count?
We can go over this in a second.
That's fine,
Let's
yeah.
finish.
Oh man, it's a lot to talk about, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. What about you? What's your name?
I'm Miss Mac.
First name Miss, last name Mac.
Yep. MISSMACK.
Okay. And then how old are you?
I am 27.
27. Where are you from?
Bompton, California.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Okay.
Pop, pop, pop.
Okay. What do you do for work?
She belongs to the streets.
This woman, 27-year-old, she is the definition of a ratchet. She is absolutely 1,000% ratchet. She's a ratchet, 100%.
Interested in, but for now, that's what I'm doing until I find it.
Here's why I, dude, she's got a face tattoo, y'all. The bitch has tattoos on her face, y'all.
A job that I'm more interested in.
Watch.
You got 3 degrees though, man. This should be easy. All right. And then single relationship.
Single.
Okay.
Of course she's single.
And body count?
We can go over this in a second.
That's fine,
Let's
yeah.
finish a roundabout.
Oh man.
Oh, he's trying to be on
It's
that
a lot to
list.
talk about, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. What about you? What's your name?
I'm Miss Mac.
First name Miss, last name Mac.
Yep. MISSMACK.
Okay. And then how old are you?
I am 27.
27. Where are you from?
Bompton, California.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Okay.
Pop, pop, pop.
Okay. What do you do for work?
Every time somebody mentions some ghetto or some hood shit, Miss Argentina comes with the pop, 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 or the gang sign shit.
I'm a trapper and a rapper.
Oh.
Like that?
Deadass.
You're the feds man.
All right.
Oh yeah, I mean,
What do you trap?
he's a fed.
She
Not
does
anymore,
trap
don't worry.
music. Go on.
All right.
What do you trap specifically?
There's feds watching.
You already said you sell
I
drugs.
trap. I didn't say I sell drugs. You said that. What the fuck? That's what I mean.
Well, you quite literally said about
I said
45
trap.
seconds ago you're a
I said
trapper
I'm
and a rapper.
That she doing trap music.
Offer up.
She was my favorite bunkie. I swear to God.
No, she said trapper
Hey,
and a rapper.
I didn't say I sell
which are two
drugs.
different things, but that's fine. We'll keep going.
Trapper and a rapper, yeah. I rap.
Okay.
Oh my
Well,
God.
there's two
I
different
can
things.
trap anything. We trapping bitches, pussy.
Dude, look at Myron. Dude, Myron's like, he's like,
Really, nigga?
oh yeah.
We need drugs.
That doesn't help the case. But anyway,
Trapping
what's
the
your
trap.
relationship status?
Married to the game.
I thought you were going to say married to the streets for a second.
No.
Okay, so no
That's a good one.
serious boyfriend or anything?
No.
Did
Why am
anyone
the
on this
only
panel?
one-
Is there anyone in a relationship on this panel?
Why am I the only
I'm
one in a
fucking
1 week
someone.
relationship?
That doesn't even count.
Yeah,
That count? I'm fucking
Yeah,
someone.
that doesn't count.
Yeah, I don't too.
We know, but the whole panel is all streets. I mean, married to the game, married to the bag.
Cap,
With
the exception
y'all niggas
of
is for the
I.
streets. That's why we not committed
Cap.
to none of you niggas. Y'all niggas is hoes.
All right, highest education level completed. School of Hard Knocks or what?
Yeah, that too. But nah, I have 2 degrees actually.
Okay.
A psychology degree and a communication studies. Yeah,
Okay.
AA degrees, both of them.
I swear to God, bitches are always into psychology.
Oh, okay, so not a bachelor's, AA?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Psychology and comms?
Yeah, and communication.
Okay. And then real quick, your highest education level was high school, right?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I dropped out of college.
Okay. But completed high school?
Yeah.
Completed high school, right, Zena?
My
No.
highest level of education is the red pill.
Fantastic.
Hey! Good for Xena.
And then what yours was
I'm
was it
in
high school?
college.
College?
Mm.
What you got your bachelor's in?
I'm sorry.
What do you have your bachelor's degree in?
Dental assisting.
Yeah, Mike Steele says Baldy is the only one that is salvageable. I agree. I agree.
You have 4 degree for that?
I don't have a degree yet. I'm still attending.
You're in school right now.
Yes,
Okay. But
that's
highest
what I'm
completed high school.
High school, yeah.
Yeah. And then for you, real quick, it was high school as well?
High school, and I studied other things by my own.
Yeah, but you completed high school.
Yeah, I completed.
Okay, fantastic. All right, researching on YouTube doesn't count. All right, okay,
Yeah, right.
Sneako, you got anything, or do I go? I don't know if we got Rumble Rants yet, but
I mean, yeah, let's get right into it. We had a
go ahead.
debate. I was wondering, Pixie and Aaron over here, we had a long, lengthy debate about feminism and about Andrew Tate and about cam girling and stuff like that. I'm wondering if you guys have anything to follow before we get into
I
the chats.
love Andrew Tate.
Nice.
I think everybody in the table does.
I love him.
Oh, you love him? Oh, yeah.
I
Shout
will
out
be
to our
the
guy.
exception.
You don't?
I mean, I don't know the guy.
I don't know him
I
either.
don't,
I will be the exception.
I don't know who that is.
He's very controversial. He makes points. but-
What are we talking about?
This bitch literally just... Did you guys hear what just happened? She says, I will be the exception. I don't know who that is. And then she proceeds to tell us about it.
Girling and stuff like that. I'm wondering if you guys have anything to follow before we get into
I
the chats.
love Andrew Tate.
Nice.
I think everybody in the table does.
I love him.
Oh, you love him? Oh, yeah.
I
Shout
will
out
be
to our
the
guy.
exception.
You don't?
I mean, I don't know the guy.
I don't know the guy.
I don't know him
I
either.
don't know who that is.
He's
I don't know who that is.
very controversial. He makes
Who
points.
is he?
but-
What are we talking about?
Who is Andrew Tate?
Andrew Tate.
Andrew
The top
Tate.
G.
Never heard of him.
He
I heard of the
is.
name, but
I
I
was
don't
just
know who that
quoting
is.
him.
Everybody wants to fuck him. Of course she does.
I know,
Oh, is
but I
that
don't
the
know.
He's
that weird shit
someone
you're saying?
who got
Yeah.
My unmatched perspective.
Argentina shoot your shot.
No,
All right,
no,
I got this. Okay, ladies, okay, I got a question for y'all. I got this. Else, Nico.
I was asking if they didn't even answer the question. I'm asking if they had any follow-ups to the debate. They stayed quiet. and
You
just
guys have any
listened.
follow-ups to the
do.
debate, or I'll get
Yeah,
into
we
the
debated
question?
if men and women are equal. They didn't have, I mean, nothing. Just gonna be quiet.
I have a lot to say.
About our
Just-
debate?
Okay, I'm
I
just
wasn't part
confused
of
what
it.
you're exactly asking.
I was wondering if you had anything to follow. We debated for 2.5 hours about Andrew Tate, about if men and women are equal, she, they, basic feminist ideologies. I'm wondering if you had anything to follow up from that, if you learned anything, or if this panel changed your mindset at all.
Well, I don't think I really learned anything in specific, but hopefully when we start asking more questions around this panel, we can get back into it. I'm kind of curious about what all these ladies think in general.
You know what? I got this. We'll
This will
start
be
right
a
here and
never
work our
ending
way
debate.
around. Okay.
Sounds great.
Do you think men and women are equal?
I mean, people don't treat us as that, but yeah, I feel like I'm equal
Here
to
we
as
go.
any man. Yeah.
Okay. So you think men and women? Oh, let me qualify this. I'm not saying you're equal as in obviously you're equal human being level, right? Like, okay, we all deserve dignity, respect, rule of law,
Okay.
etc. Not a human being is better than another by gender. I mean, as in other ways, not human dignity. or human
Can
decency.
you elaborate on
What's
the
other
ways?
ways?
Like, give us an example.
Are you fucking serious?
Like strength.
Can you elaborate? Are you kidding me? See, again, she's already preparing to argue in bad faith. Myron presented a question. He presented a very simple question. Are men and women equal? It is a yes or no question. And now we're like, well, can you elaborate? What are we doing? See, people like this who ask you to elaborate or they question, well, what exactly is equality? They don't want to answer the question. They want to debate the question in question to try to pick it apart at the root.
Let's say, yeah, that can be a component. That can be a component that you can use. There's multiple components, but I'm asking you in general, do you think we are equal? Yes or no? Not when it comes to life value.
Strength-wise, hell no. I mean, unless you're taking steroids, maybe.
Okay.
Even if y'all take steroids, doesn't matter.
But like life ways, yes, because like like I said, I'm a trapper, and like I'm like where I'm from, I'm the only female trapper.
Okay.
And like, but
okay, sweetie, he asked you, are men and women equal? He didn't ask you about your situation. Girls they always make it about them. Well, I know blah 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 blah, and I'm this and
guys be always thinking like women can't do the same things they do, and I'm like, I do it better than them actually.
Okay.
And then like I don't know.
But this isn't just you. I mean, in general, are men and women equal?
Yeah.
You think so? Okay, cool. What about you?
In terms of human dignity, yes. In terms
I said that already.
Yeah, I'm just clarifying,
Yeah.
just making sure.
Yeah.
Are we exactly the same in everything? No.
Okay. So your general answer is no?
My general answer is yes, because I think human dignity
Maybe.
goes beyond any other components that would make the answer no. So the answer is yes.
Yes. Okay.
Are you a woman?
Yes, I'm a woman.
Okay.
Okay. What about you?
No.
No? Why do you say no?
Because of logic.
Who's more logical?
Generally men.
Look, do you see how they try to... Do you guys see what's happening? Sneako asked her, again, a very basic question. Who's more logical? We all know that men are the more logical gender. But she looked at him like, is this a... Ladies, just answer the goddamn question. Answer the goddamn question.
What?
It depends on the man because sometimes men are like
Here we go.
Of course, it depends.
more
but
feminine.
yeah, that's why she said gender.
That's exactly why she said in general.
Okay.
What about you, Zena?
No, not at all.
Why do you say no?
In any way, shape, or form, biologically, mentally, physically, even fucking spiritually, if we want to go there, we are not the same at all. That's why we have masculinity and that's why we have femininity. There's a balance, but we are not the same. There is a separation. Fine line.
Damn.
Interesting. Okay.
Dude, Zena be putting it down.
We're not equal, no.
Why do you say no?
I mean, there hasn't even been a female president yet. Like, I don't think that we're equal.
Big facts.
No.
Misogyny.
Okay.
So,
Do you think we'd be better served with a female president?
I don't know yet. I mean, the saying is, like she just said, females say anything you could do, I could do better with heels. Like that's what females say, right? But we haven't even got the chance to do that, so I don't know.
Well, Hillary ran and lost.
You know,
we'll
do
be
you
better.
think you haven't
I
gotten...
don't know.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't know if we would. I would hope so. Shit, I hope if a female takes over the world or becomes president that she would do better. But
Let me ask you a question. Do you prefer to work for a man or a woman?
when do I prefer
You
to
personally.
work?
Would you prefer to have a male boss or a female boss?
I mean, if we're like speaking logically, I would say a male because they're not emotional.
Oh my God. So let me get this straight. She says she wants to see what a female president is like, but she'd rather have a male boss than a female boss. So you'd rather work for a man, but the reason you would work for the man is because he's more reasonable, less emotional, but you want an emotional president? Unbelievable. Roderick Thomas says, you have any more of that kratom, Donovan? I've got plenty of kratom. I'm actually not feeling my best today. I don't think I slept as well as I thought I did last night. And I pushed myself pretty hard in the gym today. But I mean, you know, coming back from Atlantic City, I'm really not on form today. So I will not need kratom to get through this.
Creatures.
A
But,
male.
you know,
Okay. So if you prefer to have a male boss, wouldn't it, I mean, make sense that you'd want a male president as well?
You.
I mean, I just would like to see
Gotcha, bitch. Exactly. Thank you.
where it leads us. Why not? We already had the worst male presidents. Why not just see what females could do for us?
Okay.
Meghan Markle, 2028.
That's like saying, that's like, for example, that's like saying, I just want to pull the little tab from the fucking
do.
bomb to see. Let's just see
Just
what
to
will
see what
happen. Let's just
happens.
see if we
Yeah.
survive.
Yeah, that's
That's
Why not?
chaotic.
I don't
think
even think it
Okay.
boils down to gender.
Matter
It's just character and integrity.
I mean, nowadays, and this is a tricky question because nowadays niggas do act like females, and females are more
Niggas do act
taking
like
the male
females.
roles.
Let me
It's
ask you a
just
question.
more
I'll
worse.
ask you one other question, then I'll continue on if men or women are equal. Do you think that there's any rights or privileges that men have that women don't
Uh-oh.
to keep them from being president?
Yes. Anyone want to help me?
Yeah,
Oh.
privileges.
Well, I'm asking you in
You
particular.
specifically.
We can go ahead and go around the table on this one next, but first I want to start with this. But since you want to
Well,
throw
like
this
what
topic,
prevents women?
yeah, is there any right or privilege that men have that women don't?
No.
Since you're saying men have been president all this
I
time,
mean,
it's not
because of
fair.
how we were brought up, like before us, they always said that like the men are like take care of the house, like you know the responsibilities and shit like that, and women are just supposed to have the babies
Well,
and
that's
clean
because
up.
that's
So
what we're
like
designed
we
to do.
automatically took that role as being like I feel like less than for real.
But women are
Yeah.
adults
What?
capable of making.
Guys, let me make one thing clear. On the sexual market, strictly the sexual market, the average man brings inherently more value to the sexual market than the average woman. However, as far as relationships go, the only way you have a successful relationship here in 2023, the only way is if your woman brings 30% of your value, and that's a lot. As men, we bring the time, the energy, the attention, and the resources. Okay? A man's most valuable commodity is time, whereas time is a female's worst enemy. Let me repeat that. Time is a man's most valuable commodity, but it's simultaneously the woman's worst enemy. To that end, if a woman wants to be in a respectful, in a solid, healthy relationship, she's got to bring minimum 1/3 of value, because within the context of a relationship, the closer you guys are in terms of bringing value to the other person, the more successful the relationship will be. You can't have a man who doesn't give a woman his time, energy, attention, and resources, can't take care of her, but her be fit, feminine, and friendly. No. If she's fit, feminine, and friendly, and faithful, and submissive, and all that, that's not enough. On the other side, if a man takes care of a woman, he brings resources, etc., has value, a woman can't just look good and get her nails and her hair done, and that's all she brings to the table. No, that relationship is not going to last. But if you want the only way solid, healthy relationships are possible in 2023 is if the woman brings, at least attempts to bring, the same kind of value that a man does. You see, back in the 1950s, a man and a woman's value in successful relationships were pretty equal. The man going out and being the breadwinner, that is extremely valuable. But guess what? The woman at home taking care of the kids in the house, that's equally as valuable. When men and women are in solid relationships, the best relationships are when men and women bring equal value to themselves. If the value she brings to you is on par with the value you bring to her, you have a much higher probability of having a successful relationship. Me and Devin's relationship is like this. Clearly she knows what I bring. I bring, you know, the money and all that good stuff. But guess what? She brings value too. She's fit, feminine, friendly, and faithful. She maintains my attractiveness, or she maintains her attractiveness, so I remain attracted to her. Of course, she does all my back end stuff. That's pretty fucking valuable. That's pretty goddamn valuable.
Their own decisions and going to school, are they not?
Who, women?
Women are capable of going to school and making their own decisions and getting.
I don't know why we have forgotten the plural version of the word woman. Like, it's one woman, two women. It just sounds ignorant when they say it. They sound like fucking cavemen.
Like, aren't like women the higher rate of going to school and everything?
Yeah. So wouldn't it be fair to say that there's less excuse for them to not be in a presidential?
Well, there you go. There you go. 60. I think it's more than 60% of college students are women. 60% of graduates from college are also women. So that blows that out of the water.
Power or be in some type of authority when they dominate education, higher education.
But I think the reason that it's not like that is because we're emotional creatures. So if something was to happen, we'd go based off.
Okay, well, there you go. There you go. You're emotional creatures. Women are more interested in people. Men are more interested in things.
Emotions.
So why do you want to try that out?
Because it's
You're
only
right.
for
That's
1
not.
week.
I mean, maybe because we're not all the same though.
It will
So
have
maybe
to take.
there's someone that's not as emotional. Like maybe.
Unbelievable. So she's looking for the diamond in the rough. The exception to the rule, female, who doesn't have a 28-day cycle, where they experience 28 different moods on 28 different levels, 28 different days out of the month.
Not all females are like that.
So
a really
Well,
masculine
so a manly
female.
Whoever makes it,
They
like
only think we're
masculine
emotional 1 week of the month.
Wow.
Dude, Myron looked at the camera. Wow.
not as emotional. Like maybe not all females are like that.
So
a really
Well,
masculine
so a manly
female.
Whoever makes
Yeah.
it,
They
like
only
like
think we're
masculine
emotional 1 week of the month.
1 week of the month. No, women are emotional all the time. And again, this is not an indictment on women. This is just who women are. Women are emotional. This is what makes them women. As Myron Gaines looks at the camera as if to think,
Really, nigga?
Wow.
But, yeah.
All right. Well, I just
I
like
don't
the
know.
contradictions here. All right. Don't worry. We'll come back to that though, because it seems like you guys have something to say with this privilege, male and female privilege. Do you think men and women are equal?
No, absolutely not.
Why not?
Because, for example, she was talking about how she traps and that she does it better than guys sometimes because we're privileged, we're women, we got ass and titties, so it's easier for us. I was gonna work. I worked in a jewelry store selling jewelry. I was the only female, and I would sell the most just because I'm
There
a
you go.
female.
Exactly.
You know, so we do got it easy.
No, that was because they're fake ass and titties,
Oh,
not
interesting.
because they're females.
No, I'm just kidding. But females, we do it better because we're females. Like this.
I think
And-
that's the first time the girl said something. It's not equal and actually gave where women
Yeah,
have
right?
benefits.
Right. The sexual attention will give you a big
Interesting.
advantage in sales.
Of course.
But your
Yes.
financial
also-
attention does.
Hey, but you want to know something, guys? You want to know something? A lot of guys get mad. Well, the only reason why she's the best salesman is because she looks the best. So? Again, we talk all the time about how life isn't fair. There are advantages that women have that we don't. There are advantages that men have that women don't. It is what it is. She's a highly attractive woman, so yeah. Dude, and of course, the people who predominantly buy the most jewelry are men. You think if a woman wanted to buy jewelry that she would go to her? No, because she's attractive. And it's funny. Women hate women that are more attractive than they are. It's actually quite funny. So yeah, listen again, guys, don't get mad at women who use their looks to their advantage, right? Women have to leverage their sexuality to obtain resources. Well, men, we use our resources to obtain sexuality. It's just the way it works. So if you're going to be mad at an attractive girl If you're going to be mad at an attractive woman being able to sell more than anybody because she's attractive, you're also the same type of dude who is upset with guys like Fresh, who's not the best looking guy in the world, who pulls bitches because he drives, 2 Lambos and a Rolls Royce, and is one half of the Fresh and Fit podcast. It is what it is.
That's
Also, a female in general, like, you don't have to be attractive. You're still a female. You feel me?
That's very true, too.
And as president,
She said, you feel me. Wow. Has this chick ever dated a white dude?
presidents, why, like, because men are supposed to be in control. Like, they're meant to be providers. So naturally,
then why are you pimping your boyfriend?
Yeah.
Good question.
Because it's something temporary.
There you go. Somebody just called her out. Why are you pimping your boyfriend? There you go. Thank you.
It's weird
It's,
now.
it's an
So we're
opportunity.
equal now. We can pimp men.
Huh?
So maybe there will be female.
We can, of course, but that's exactly why. The fact that I'm a female and that I can do certain things
That men
better.
do? Okay.
I'm taking.
Sweetie, bad example. You pimping out your boyfriend has nothing to do with the fact that that's not an advantage that you have. You're with a man who does not have control. That's why you're pimping him.
Taking advantage of my qualities.
But the question is, right, is there a sort of glass ceiling that's prevented there from being a female president? Probably not really, because Hillary nearly got it, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
So they're probably, I mean, I'm from the UK, right? We've had 3 female prime ministers now. So I reckon
Yeah, look at the state of England.
somebody will break through at some point. I don't believe there's a glass ceiling that's preventing a woman getting through. I think it's just been circumstantial, to be honest. I don't think there's anything that's holding a woman back from becoming president of the USA.
No, at all. I never said that. It could happen, and it would be easy for her.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Easy for her. What is she talking about?
Cool, 2028.
the reason why the majority of the time it's been males is because naturally males are protectors, providers, and are in control.
Okay.
The most of the time.
Do you think men and women are equal?
I'm not sure if I can answer this question. Just
Anytime the answer is anything but yes or no, she thinks men and women are equal. She knows they're not, but she can't justify it.
just based on there is nothing being given. Like there's so many
In
different things that
general,
we can compare.
are men and women equal?
And generally, like
Look at the
I would
comparisons
say-
that you
I
have
would
in your
say-
mind.
I would say no.
No?
But
Thank you. Oh,
then again, like
see, I would say no, but she wants to add a caveat. She does not like, she knows that men and women aren't equal, but she doesn't like that men and women aren't equal. And again, this is the wrong question. The question should be, are men and women the same? The answer is clearly no. And the things that make us different shifts the equality in certain ways. That's how this works.
I just said, there's so many things that we can compare. Like, but I don't think, don't take me wrong with this, but I don't think everyone is equal. Like there's so many stuff that other people have that other people don't. So we're not.
Men and women, sweet cheeks.
So I wouldn't say men and women are.
What about you? You think men and women are equal?
No, they're not. A man has a role, and so does a woman.
Okay. You believe in gender roles?
Yes.
But what is the man's role?
I mean, a man is, masculine. A man takes care of the household.
Right.
But most men don't.
So then,
Well, then you need a new man.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just saying, in general, yeah.
Real shit. Real shit.
Yeah, you need a new man.
so what's your opinion about all the women at the table who want to play the male role, get to the bag, marry to
There's
the
nothing
game?
wrong with that because, you want to provide for yourself. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
So would you call them manly?
Not at all, no. It's more.
Well, then what would they be?
On everybody's situation.
Sorry about that.
Exactly.
Do you think trapping is self-care?
Hell yeah.
Like,
how you live.
So I don't know what like trapping is.
Selling drugs and selling women.
But or it could be selling coochie, like OnlyFans. OnlyFans, like your OnlyFans. That's trapping. OnlyFans,
And I said OnlyFans because
I swear to God, man. I swear to God, dude. This $600. Hang on a second, guys. The $600 Roadcaster is starting to give me problems.
I don't want to
But
be
that's
like
trapping.
the
A trap
majority.
is just a hustle. You're a hustler. You're,
No,
an
'cause
entrepreneur.
it's legal.
You're a future entrepreneur, right?
It's
so you're
legal,
a trapper
though.
too. That's just a slang word for entrepreneur.
Prostitution is legal in Vegas.
Prostitution isn't the
You know, it's always funny. It's always funny when women say, well, prostitution is legal in Vegas. No, it's not. Prostitution is not legal in Vegas. It is legal in some counties in Nevada, Nye County, Dayton County, etc., but it is absolutely not legal in Vegas.
same thing as
No,
OnlyFans
it's
because
not.
nobody touches
No
me.
matter what
It is
you're
the
doing,
same.
if
It's
you're an
online
entrepreneur,
prostitution.
that's
Nobody
a trapper.
touches
If
me.
you're an entrepreneur,
ladies,
that's a
ladies,
trapper.
ladies, ladies.
Nobody touches
She was
me.
speaking. Let's let her
I mean, you
finish.
can get arrested for doing
Let's-
OnlyFans. So.
and
Yeah,
it's not legal in Las
entrepreneur
Vegas, actually.
is a trapper.
Yeah.
OnlyFans is legal.
Okay, but like,
you're a future trapper, right?
hey, can you please
Oh,
stop
sorry.
interrupting?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Back to what were we talking about?
Men and women, are they
Trapping?
equal? You said no.
No,
You
they
said
are
that they
not.
have gender roles.
They do.
But you said that women can elect to work if they wanted. That
Yeah,
doesn't make them manly.
If you choose.
That's interesting. So Mike Steele says the county must have fewer than 450,000 residents to legally have prostitutes in the state of Nevada. I did not know that. I have never heard that. How about that?
If you choose
Okay.
to work and provide for yourself and do certain things that make you happy, or you're struggling, and this is the only way to provide for yourself, then so be it. You can't look down upon.
That's a privilege that women have that men don't. If all else fails for a woman, she can just sell sex. OnlyFans, working girls, pole dancers, etc.
on someone doing that.
Okay. What do you think about a guy that's a stay-at-home dad and the woman goes out and provides for him?
Here we go.
Okay, I don't know about that one.
Is that man feminine for staying inside the house?
Okay, no, because there are women that are just very, very intelligent. And
What does intelligence have to do with being a stay-at-home dad?
why are you laughing?
No, keep going.
Anyway, there are women that are very intelligent, and
Dude, her lips are out of control. Well, guys, I'm sorry, but her lips are out of control. I think her lips are so heavy. Yeah, the Forest says, I think her lips are so big she has difficulty brushing her teeth. I think her lips are so heavy. That's probably why she talks slowly. It's weird. Like, the lips look like, how do you even kiss a bitch like that?
No, they're smarter than some men.
Okay. But in that situation, is the man feminine for staying at home?
Not at all.
have a
You're
question.
taking care. It's. I mean, it's your family. If that's
that
your
intelligent woman, she goes out all day, she's trapping, she's doing whatever, and then she comes home and her husband is wearing an apron.
He's her little bitch. Then.
No.
Okay,
Well,
so
there you
that,
go. Well, that's it. And if he's her little bitch, then guess what? That means he's feminine. Mr. E1976 in Sharpe Stream says, "What's good, Sharpe Stream? Hope all is well with everyone today." Absolutely.
that is feminine. If he's a little bitch, that's
her
what
little
feminine
bitch.
is.
Can I ask a question?
One mic at a time.
It's
All right.
really a question.
Yeah.
Does a beta man necessarily have to be considered feminine?
Yes.
No.
What's a beta
Yes.
man
The fuck
to you?
does that have to do with anything?
A beta man is
Let me
not an
before we
alpha.
before we
have
do
a
that, let's
question. It's a
finish
what?
this line of questioning. Save that for because we're gonna
It's
let
on
y'all
this.
ask us a
I have a
question
question.
anyway, so don't worry. Okay, so gender roles is what you think.
Yes.
All right. What about you?
No.
Are men and women the same? No. Why not?
For a lot of the reasons the other women stated, biologically, gender roles, I do.
God, she's beautiful. She's well spoken. Dude, if she would just grow out her hair.
Okay.
Agree with
Okay.
to a certain extent.
Look
All
at
right. Do you think men and
And she's actually got a brain. Imagine that.
women are equal?
Currently, no. Men and women are not equal.
But ideally,
Economically, socially, but yes, they ought to be equal. Yeah, of course.
okay.
You don't think that they're the same equal, economically and socially?
No. there's certainly differences in American society and globally in which men are systemically advantaged over women.
Can you explain those?
Like what rights?
Here we go. See, now we need to reintroduce the question: What rights do men have that women do not? And the answer is none. The answer is none.
What rights do we have in the West that women don't have?
And that segues to my second question. What rights and privileges do men have that women don't?
Well, there are some issues.
Okay, very good. Shout out to Montrell Rather. So shout out to Myron and Sneako for this show. Appreciate that very much. Also, shout out to Jay Blaze with the $2 super chat. Says, Don, in the 90s, Pamela pushed fake tits on women. I think that women, I don't think Pamela pushed fake tits. I don't know. I could be wrong. I think women would be getting fake tits with or without Pamela Anderson. But I think you might be right. Pamela Anderson was really the first celebrity in the mainstream that says, yeah, I've got fake tits. What of it?
Issues that pertain specifically to women, like reproductive rights, that don't apply to men.
God. Oh my God. He just asked the question, what rights and privileges do men have that women do not? And right then and there, she said reproductive rights. No. Men, we do not have reproductive rights. We don't have reproductive rights. Women decide who gets born and who doesn't. They decide who lives and who dies. As soon as a woman becomes pregnant, it is her choice whether or not she wants to have the child or terminate the pregnancy with a quote-unquote noit roba. Spelled backwards. I just don't, what is she talking about? Men don't have reproductive rights. We don't decide which babies are born and which ones are not. So, I don't know what she's talking about. The Forest, with a $2 super chat, says it wasn't Pamela, it was Jenna Jameson and Elvira. I remember Elvira. I do. The Fit Comedian says, this panel made my head hurt.
But even those specific issues are like rights. Women are not enfranchised with those rights like they should be. Like women should have access to comprehensive sex education, but most women are going to require additional rights that they need to be endowed with that don't apply to men.
Okay, that don't apply to men, but we don't get pregnant. We don't have reproductive rights because we don't get pregnant. The woman gets pregnant. The woman decides if the baby lives or dies. Women have all of the reproductive rights, gentlemen. And noit roba, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's legal in like 25 or 26 states.
Access to abortions, contraception, etc.
Do you see how she just put noit roba and contraception in the same sentence? You see how she just did that? This is where the noit roba conversation gets derailed, is when women use it as a form of birth control.
You're not really answering the question, though. The question is, what rights do men have that women don't have? I also can't kill a baby. We both can.
You're presupposing that abortion is murder, right?
Yeah.
Do you see what she just did there? You see what she just did there? He said, I also can't kill a baby. She went right to, okay, now we're going to decide on what's murder and what. This is arguing in bad faith, gentlemen. This is arguing in bad faith. If we take it back to the original question, what rights do men have that women do not? The answer is nothing. Men do not have reproductive rights. We don't get to decide which babies are born and which ones aren't.
You believe abortion's murder?
100%.
You believe a fetus is the same as like a human being, a baby?
It's a life, yeah. So we both cannot kill babies. We're equal.
I mean, I don't.
Well, actually, she can still kill babies in certain states.
Commit murder. Oh, you can commit murder though.
In certain states.
Yes, about 50% of the United States still allows for abortion.
For abortion, are you not pro-choice?
You know, surprisingly, I actually am pro-choice. But for women to say that they don't have the same rights and privileges as men is very interesting. And when it comes to reproduction, you guys unilaterally have all the rights. Men have zero reproductive rights.
Though.
Yeah, I understand that.
She says we're carrying, and that's exactly why you have the reproductive rights. Yeah, Mike Steele said, bad move by Sneako, though. Now it's a moralistic argument, not objective. Yeah, I agree. And she was waiting on him to do that. Devin says, but if you hurt a pregnant woman and she loses the baby, it's red rum, even though it's not born yet. Exactly. Here, listen. That's very interesting. As far as Noit Roba is concerned, there are so many contradictions that the Noit Roba discussion that it brings, right? The first contradiction is just like Devin says. A woman can go and get a Noit Roba. She's not charged with a crime. But if you hurt a pregnant woman and she loses the baby, it's red rum, even though it's not born yet. Well, what if she wanted to have the baby? What if she had decided to get a Noit Roba? And how do you decide what she wanted to do? That's the first thing. The second thing is Noit Robas are gruesome. They are absolutely gruesome. I don't even want to think about it. But what's interesting is that you can assault, red rum, maim, and destroy a baby while it's inside the womb. But if you were to do that to a baby outside the womb, it would be a crime. How is it not a crime to assault a child in the womb? Or how is it not a crime to assault a child in the womb, but it's a crime outside the womb? If it's a crime outside the womb, why is it not a crime inside the womb? Here's another thing. Noit Robas are medical procedures. They're medical procedures performed by doctors. Noit Roba, the Hippocratic Oath, nobody knows what the Hippocratic Oath is except for, of course, doctors, right? But the one line in the Hippocratic Oath that we are all familiar with, I'm starting to feel better now that I've taken some kratom. Maybe I'll do a little bit better now. But we all know the main line in the Hippocratic Oath is what class? Do no harm. Noit Robas, as far as I know, are the only medical procedure where intentional harm is caused, but they get to keep their medical license. I don't understand how that works. If we're supposed to do no harm, if you do harm, you face malpractice lawsuits, etc., but you're harming another human being. You're red rumming another human being. But we're still able to keep our medical licenses. Just an observation.
But what I'm trying to say is that when it comes to reproductive rights, men have zero reproductive rights, whereas women have all the reproductive power.
They do.
What
They
are some
should put a
reproductive
condom on.
rights
You
that you
nutting
believe like
people.
men should have?
That's
that
their
they don't
choice.
currently
Well,
have?
here's the thing.
She says the choice is when you nut in people. That's not a reproductive right. That's a sexual right. Like you don't like just because you nut in a girl does not give you reproductive rights. Number one. Number two, it takes two to tango. If you nut in a chick, guess what? She lets you nut in her. Typical, dude, this is typical black woman speak. This is typical black woman speak. Black women love to take the accountability off of, well, if you didn't have a bunch of kids, if you didn't nut in these chicks, okay. But unless he ejaculated without her consent, then guess what? That's your responsibility too, sweet cheeks. Women know the difference between a condomless sausage and a sausage with a condom on it. They know the difference. We all know that unprotected sex feels better than sex with a condom. So when she says, well, when you nutted it, no, that's different. Those aren't reproductive rights. As soon as the sperm leaves our body, our reproductive rights are taken away immediately. We don't get to decide if we want to keep the kid or not. That decision is the woman's. The Fit Comedian with the $5 super chat, appreciate that. It says, if I'm not mistaken, they have plays now on Noitroba. I think it's called Ross. Oh, in the $2 super chat, he says, I think I mean Row. Wow. So they now have plays on Noitrobas, and it's called Row. Oh, my God.
Men, for example, if you have a child with a man, the man has zero right to anything with that baby. If you want to keep the baby, or
AJ Green retired.
Or if you want to abort the baby, you have 100% control over that. That man has no control. So if you decide I'm going to have the baby and he's got to pay child support, well, that's on him. If you decide I don't want to have the baby and he wants the baby, he wants the child, he doesn't have any say in it.
There it is. There it is. There it is, guys. Women want all of the rights without any of the responsibility. They want to reserve the right to unilaterally terminate a pregnancy, but then also turn around and get child support. My body, my choice, right? Well, my wallet, my choice.
So you're talking about like custodial rights.
He doesn't have rights, period. Men have zero reproductive rights.
Do you see how she just added another layer with the custodial rights? Custodial rights only come into play after the kid is born. You don't have custodial rights pre-birth. Now she's trying to muddy the waters here, guys. Now she's just trying to muddy the waters.
In the United States or any first world Western country for that matter.
I mean, some men
have the right
opt to
to wear a condom.
have their name put on the birth certificate. That's not true.
Yeah.
Again, after the kid is born. And by the way, if the kid gets born, guess whose decision it is to allow the child to be born? It's the woman's and not the man's.
The right to wear a
Parental
condom.
rights.
That's
But
not
they don't have
reproductive rights.
that's not reproductive
Well,
rights.
it's because it's not your reproductive system.
You have the
isn't it?
right to wear
Like,
a
if it
condom.
was-
Which proves our point exactly. Not our reproductive system. Exactly. The question was, what rights and privileges do men enjoy that women do not? She just proved our point for us.
Well,
If it was your body, then you could choose.
The right
And that's
to wear a
that's not-
condom.
That's the other thing is that like
It's my nut.
it takes two. Assuming that
it takes two though.
assuming it's a
Exactly.
consensual interaction, take two to tangle,
Assuming it's a consensual interaction.
It almost always is.
right? So men know what they're getting into when they have
You
sex,
could pull
consensual
out.
sex with a woman,
Yeah, but
and women know what they're getting into when they have consensual sex.
Yes, but women also know what they're getting into. They still get the reproductive rights.
You can
With
still
a
get
man.
pregnant.
I think sex education is incredibly lacking because
No, sex education is not incredibly lacking. What is she talking about? Dude, everyone knows that if you have unprotected sex, pregnancy is a possibility. What does sex education have to do with this? This is just more fluff and talking points to keep the mic.
there are most pregnancies are
teaching us
accidental
it's-
pregnancies.
Okay,
but
like from there, you're saying that like men have no choice or whatever, and it's like, well, if you could,
No, it's not no choice. We have no rights.
if you're choosing
Sure, you can go
consensually
first and then I'll.
to engage to have sex with a woman,
Go
you
ahead,
are
sorry.
accepting that responsibility that you may get her pregnant.
Okay, that's exactly correct. But getting her pregnant is very different from deciding if she goes through with the birth. Getting her pregnant is different from reproductive rights. Reproductive rights don't happen until they reproduce. Getting a woman pregnant does not give a man reproductive rights. So what she's trying to say is, well, men have reproductive rights because if he chooses to have unprotected sex with a woman, then he knows that pregnancy is a possibility. That's correct. But even still, he knows that he does not have a decision. He does not have rights to his sperm once it leaves his body. The Level Up man says she has the right to change her mind. He does not.
I think the point Myron's making, though, is that fundamentally, in a state where abortion is legal, the woman has the right to exercise that option, and the man does not have that right. That's where the disparity occurs.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that
So-
kind of.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Go
so
ahead.
I just think this line of questioning is kind of weird because reproductive rights is about your reproductive system.
Mm.
So if it's a woman's body that's going through the whole process of pregnancy, then it's her reproductive right.
Okay, that's the point. It is her reproductive rights. We don't have children. We don't have children. Again, she is reiterating what we're saying. Women have the reproductive rights. Men do not. As soon as our sperm leaves our body, we have no reproductive rights.
But it takes a man.
Reproduction is by default, by definition, actually, a two-person tango.
Yeah, but reproductive rights refers to the rights of your own body.
But you contradict yourself, y'all. When y'all say that, y'all, as a woman, you contradict yourself. You
women are
can't
kinda
say,
wrong.
"Oh, it's my reproductive system, so when I get pregnant, it's my choice." But then say,
May I say
"You
something?
chose to nut in me." That's a fucking contradiction.
There it is. Thank you. Get him, Xena.
No.
Women are wrong in a sense for not allowing men to have a choice.
That's a
in life.
contradiction. You can't say he has equal part because he nutted in you and got you pregnant, but now when it's down to your decision, now it's yours and he has no right.
Any
That's
woman that
exactly a
doesn't let a man have the choice.
Dre Raven with the comment of the stream says, "Wait a minute. I thought Miss Gender didn't believe in gender. Ain't that convenient? Ain't that convenient?"
In having the baby or not, they're wrong in that, but they're just wrong.
No, it's correct. It's correct to say that obviously because the baby is gestated inside the.
Shout out to Troy Francis, the Manosphere. The Manosphere is he's the James Bond of the Manosphere.
Woman, then it's her body, and therefore.
Can you believe, by the way, Troy is 50 years old. Troy is 50 years old. Troy looks absolutely incredible for half a hundred. It's incredible the way he looks.
Or it's her decision whether she goes through with that birth or not. That makes sense. But I suppose the issue really is if the man in the equation is adamantly against bringing that child into the world, he raises those concerns with the woman, and she says, "No, I'm going to go ahead with the go ahead with the birth." Then he has no right in that situation in the same way that the woman does. I mean, yes, the woman physically births the child, but the father.
Yeah, he looks 35. He looks 35. He is 50 years old. It's insane.
Is compelled to have a child that he didn't want to have because he doesn't have the same option that the woman has. So I think that's the fundamental issue here.
Okay, that's a separate issue. Then,
Mike Steele says we need to get Xena's brain into Baldy's body to create a super queen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
A person's own reproductive system. We can talk about parental rights and stuff like that, but
parental rights don't occur until after the baby is born.
I just want to make it clear that there's a difference between reproductive rights concerning your own system and just parental rights.
And those rights mean when you have the child, now he's forced to be a father when he doesn't want to be a fucking father. So no, you're going back and forth. Can I speak for a second? One mic at a time? I'm sorry.
We're all talking.
If you choose to have a child after you...
Yo. The black girl next to Xena, she doesn't want Xena's problems, y'all. She does not want Xena's problems. Dude, Xena will drag that hoe. Like real shit. Xena will... she's not the muscle of Fresh and Fit for nothing. Like, there's a reason why Xena's there. Her and Icy are the girls that get them out of there. The reason why they are is because the girls will assault Myron and Chris and Fresh. They'll assault because they know they won't do nothing back. But if they assault Xena or Icy, they're getting smoked. Beat down.
Spoke to the nigga and he said, "No, I don't want to have a child." Now you bitches go for child support and all the parental custody shit that comes later. It starts with the reproductive rights. So that's exactly what we're talking about. You guys keep going back and forth. No, once you decide, because we get the decision to have the baby, now he's forced to be a father when he didn't want to. That's what.
Bingo. 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 All Xena, and again, this goes back to the question. What rights do men have that women do not? And the answer is none. Look, do you hear her? Do you hear what happened? This is so funny. And of course, Myron, watch. So Xena's holding women accountable, right? They give her the floor, but as soon as she drops the hammer, they start running off.
Now you bitches go for child support and all the parental custody shit that comes later. It starts with the reproductive rights. So that's exactly what we're talking about. You guys keep going back and forth. No, once you decide, because we get the decision to have the baby, now he's forced to be a father when he didn't want to.
See, Now watch. Now they all jump in because Xena is putting a mirror up to these women.
Or
That's okay.
He should have pulled
There's Myron.
Can I say something?
And you say that
He should have pulled out. There we go. He should have pulled out. Typical black woman logic.
after, but y'all
It
bitches
doesn't
be like,
matter.
"Come
It
on,
me too. No, we
Everyone's
don't.
talking
Speak
at
for
the same
yourself.
time.
That's what you say.
So Xena finished her point. You can
Like
go
what?
ahead, and then who else had something?
I
wanted
you
to
say
say
you're right.
Hold
and
on,
like,
hold on.
oh.
Okay, you had something. You had something. Who else had something? I want to make sure everyone
I
can get a
had
chance.
something.
Mangu King with the $5 super chat says, "How did we go from rights that men have versus women to whatever this is? LOL, crazy how one girl manipulated so many people so easily to change a topic." This is what women do. This is what women do, guys. This is what women do. Women never, ever, ever take accountability. They never take accountability. But absent the accountability, the question still remains. What rights and privileges do men have that women don't? And the answer is nothing.
Who else did? You
I
did?
did.
Okay. All right. So we'll go here, and then there, and then back.
Well,
He shouldn't have nutted in you. You shouldn't have let him nut in you.
I was gonna say is like she's right in a way. So like if a man did not want to be a part of that baby's life, he should be able right in the beginning sign like, oh, if you're gonna keep this
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
baby and I don't want nothing to do with it,
Yeah.
sign something where she's claiming that she's gonna take full responsibility.
Look, like I hear what I hear what Face Tattoo is saying. I hear what Face Tattoo is saying here. In a perfect world, that would be ideal. But we don't live in a perfect world, man. Like, she's talking about the way things should be rather than the way things are.
And he doesn't have to,
Yep.
pay child support.
They call those
Because just
paper
like a
abortions,
woman,
I think.
sometimes there's men that want to keep the baby.
Yep.
And the bitch be like, nah, I don't want this shit and abort it.
That's what I
So
was
it should be
gonna say.
fair. Where if he don't want nothing to do with the baby, he could sign right away. So if she decides to keep it, well, bitch, that's on
Okay.
you.
So you're saying what should be. Okay. What about you?
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. Like, if a man wanted his child, but the woman's like, "No, this is my body, and I get
Well, he
to
has to
commit
agree to take care
murder."
of
So you guys are talking about the
Like,
ideal. Okay.
yeah.
What about you?
Thank you.
Like based on like what you're saying like if they decide to keep the baby, but they're talking about like you're talking about taking abortion away, like you're pro-choice. So if
No,
we
we didn't say
abortion
that.
like
I
pro-choice is
have
no
no
abortion.
idea. This
No,
is
No
no,
pro-life.
pro-choice
Pro-life.
No, we didn't say nothing about
My
that.
bad.
If you're
But I'm saying like
anti-choice,
when
you're against abortion.
they
Yeah.
doing that or whatever, like it's harder. I say like if we're taking abortion away, I'm bringing this topic in.
We didn't say take
We
abortion
didn't say
away.
I
take
said
a-
I'm taking.
We
I'm
said
bringing this topic
reproductive
in.
rights, meaning both
Your
people should be
reproductive rights
involved.
meaning taking.
That's not what that
reproductive
means.
No, we're saying if a
That
man
means
wants
that
a
they should
baby,
both have
Let's go
say.
on.
Once you understand, I'll move it to her, and then
I
just
thought I was bringing a topic
formulate your
in.
thoughts, and then
Devin says, even if a parent surrenders his parental rights, he is still obligated to pay child support until the child has been adopted. Exactly.
and then come back.
Okay.
Somebody else had something over here. Go
I
ahead.
did.
Yeah.
So
you
I
brought
feel
this up.
like what Pixie said, a lot
Okay.
of confliction is going on between reproductive rights
Yeah.
versus legal and custodial rights.
Right. But the difference is that reproductive rights happen before the birth, custodial rights happen after the birth. That's just more fluff.
So where do you feel like the inequality lies here, where women are empowered in a way that men aren't legally?
We got to start from zero and then work our way forward. Number one, when it comes to reproduction, it's a two-part process. You cannot have it occur without the male being involved because sperm needs to come in and hit
Yes, women are not asexual, except for maybe Davina.
the egg for it, right? So what I'm saying is that men have zero reproductive rights because women choose who lives and dies when it comes to birthing in the United States. Then from there, if you guys want to talk about parental rights, men virtually have no parental rights either. Women win 90% of the custody battles, and they get the child most of the time. The woman has to be a damn near crackhead and a multi-time convicted felon to be able to lose custody of the child. So
And even still, they still get custody.
if we want to talk about reproductive rights, zero. And then if we want to talk about parental rights, virtually zero as well. So realistically speaking, going back to the original question, what rights and privileges do men enjoy that women don't?
And that's actually a privilege that women have that we don't have any say in.
Well, like as far as reproductive rights that you think men are entitled to, do you believe that men should be able to dictate whether or not another adult woman should be forced to have an abortion?
It doesn't matter what we think. Men in this day and age do not have the right to force a woman to do anything, much less anoint roba.
Or to carry a child to term?
See, now we're talking about what should be rather than what is. Again, we're moving the goalpost here. We're muddying the waters.
Well, if the men should be able to have a say. If you're able to kill the baby, then I should have a say in killing a baby too.
You
Then
guys
it's
don't know
fair.
what it
But
does
it's
to our
not-
body, how we feel,
Or have
or
the way,
anything.
a
Like,
right
It's
to
not your
sign off on a
reproductive
baby.
system. That's
Guys,
the problem. We're talking
not
about
fair. Men do
reproductive.
have
your body. Well, like,
Once
reproductive
again,
rights.
ladies,
You guys-
I get that you guys are in your feelings right now. Like, hey,
Choose
it's
me.
my body, it's reproductive.
Mike Steele says this is also why who your woman's friends are is just as important as your woman herself. Women are communal. Take a good girl and surround her with trash friends. She'll become the trash heap in 6 months. 100%. 100%. This is why the passport bros don't bring their women back to the United States. This is why they don't bring their women back to the United States. They used to. 10, 15 years ago, they used to. But American women destroy and corrupt all women.
It tears my body up.
This isn't
All I'm
feelings.
simply saying, hold on. We're talking facts, not feelings.
Change the subject.
No, it's simple. You have all the reproductive rights. Men don't. That's all I'm saying. We're not talking about what's good, what's not, what we should
A
be,
woman
what
can't
could it be.
reproduce without
What
a
I'm
man
saying, yo,
coming.
stop talking, bro.
My bad.
Dude, so you can look at face tattoo. I'm going to show you guys. This is the perfect example. Let's go body language here. This is the perfect example of a woman literally listening to respond. She is not even like, she's just listening to respond. She cannot help herself. While Myron is talking, she can't help. She can't help it. Just watch.
Whether or not another adult woman should be forced to have an abortion
Watch.
or to carry a child to term.
Well, if the men should be able to have a say. If you're able to kill the baby, then I should have a say in killing a baby too.
You
then
guys
it's
don't know
fair.
what it
But
does
it's
to our
not-
body, how we feel,
Or have the
or
way,
anything.
a
Like,
But
right
it's
to
not your
sign off on a
reproductive
baby.
system. That's
Guys,
the problem. We're
that's
talking
not
about
fair.
Men do
reproductive.
have
Watch.
Your body. Well, like,
Once again,
rights.
ladies,
You guys-
I get that you guys
Watch her very
are in your
closely.
feelings right now. Like, hey,
Choose
it's
me.
my body, it's reproductive,
Look.
it tears my body
This
up.
isn't
All I'm
feelings.
simply saying, hold on. We're talking facts, not
Look, she cannot help herself. Watch.
feelings.
Change the subject.
No,
See?
it's simple. You have all the reproductive rights. Men don't. That's all I'm saying. We're not talking about what's good, what's not, what we should
A
be,
woman
what should.
There it is. She cannot shut up. She cannot shut up. She just can't do it. Literally listening to respond. Like her mouth is moving and no words come out. It's interesting. Her mouth starts to move before her voice box kicks in. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Ay, ay, ay.
Can't
What could it be?
reproduce without
What
a
I'm
man
saying, yo,
coming.
stop talking, bro.
My bad.
Anyway, what I'm saying is that the fact
Finally.
is this: women have all the reproductive rights in any first world country. Men have zero. Now, whether it's moral or not is a different thing. That's another discussion. I'm just saying the fact is men have zero reproductive rights, and that is a fact. That's not disputable.
well, you have control over who you have sex with, right?
Yes, but that has nothing to do with reproductive rights. It just doesn't.
It doesn't
No.
matter.
You
What
know
I'm
we
talking
don't.
about is when the sperm hits the egg and a pregnancy
Yes,
is there,
once a woman is
the
fertilized, it
reproductive
all lies with her.
process, the man loses all the rights, which is the
There you go.
debate what we're having. We're not talking about what, because you guys are trying to bring it to feelings of, but my body, my choice, maybe
Well,
I don't want to do it. Blah,
Men
blah,
have
blah.
reproductive rights that pertain to themselves, but
But we don't birth babies, sweetie.
never ones that would extend to another woman. You know,
But
like
it's
if you
a
want to get a
seed.
vasectomy,
The point
that
is-
falls under male reproductive rights.
problem-
The point is that we're so blessed to be females. Look how privileged we are. We need to be grateful. Who's a single mother here?
Yeah, me. But a
Do
man,
you know
a
how
woman
much
can't
right we got?
reproduce, But a man can't reproduce without. I mean, a woman can't reproduce.
We got
without a
mad
man.
rights.
Okay,
Okay,
and
so-
I feel like this is
tripping.
being derailed.
Okay,
Who
so
has rights
No,
as a
not you,
woman?
not you.
Can I?
She says, I feel like this is being derailed. Yeah, you derailed it. Devin says, everyone knows the inherent risks of having sex. We learned about it in middle school. If you accidentally get pregnant, it has consequences for both parties. True, Devin. But again, the woman has all of the reproductive rights.
All
I'm
right,
a
so
single
we
mother.
just,
I have
hold on,
no
hold on.
rights.
Look. We just got to have some ground rules here. The fact is that men have zero reproductive rights. That's a
That's
fact.
it.
That's not to be disputed.
That's
We're not talking about whether it's moral or not. That's a whole other discussion. Now, going back to the
Byron.
original question: what rights and privileges do men have that women don't?
I know one.
Hold on, wait your turn.
rights that men have that women
And if you
don't.
can't think of one, I'll move on to the next person. Maybe you could think of one.
No, as far as like on paper, no, men and women legally and nominally have the same rights.
Thank you. There it is.
But obviously, if we look at a lot of society, the inequalities within
Society, inequalities. Dude, anytime somebody uses the word society, you already know they're woke as a joke.
society between men and women lead.
Yeah,
such
you're talking about like
different lives and stuff like that.
systemic like
Disadvantages. Yeah.
disadvantages. Like what?
Like I mean, I'm pro-choice, so I see
We went over
women's
that.
inability to be able to exercise and procure an abortion
Oh my
as
God,
an infringement upon
dude,
women.
like we just beat this topic into the ground. And finally we come back to the question. And she keeps going back to Noit Roba.
Rights.
Okay.
You know?
Well, they can
Like-
at least go to another state where it's illegal and
Thank
get it done there.
Yeah, but why should they have to?
Hey, sweetheart, that's the way it is. Why should they have to? Because it's not legal in all 50 states. That's why. And if you don't want to have to if you don't want to have to travel to another state to get a Noit Roba, then don't have unprotected sex. It's that simple. It's that simple. It just sounds to me like this woman just wanted to come on to Fresh and Fit to talk about Noit Roba. This is crazy.
They have the ability to, whereas
You
men
have
don't
the
at all.
ability to, right? But in the same way that it's like you have the ability to become a billionaire, right? And make tons of money. There's going to be other social obstacles that prevent you from doing so that are not legal.
Yeah, becoming a billionaire is a little harder than getting pregnant. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. This woman just compared becoming a billionaire to a woman's right to a Noit Roba. She acts like becoming a billionaire is a choice. She acts like men can just decide to become a billionaire and voila. Voila. I'm worth $1 billion. It does not work that way. Women, on the other hand, can get pregnant through having sex. This is a bad comparison. Like, what is she doing?
Legal. You know, there's nothing stopping me from becoming a billionaire, but am I going to be a billionaire tomorrow?
Well,
No.
your merit and your hard work is what stops you from being a billionaire.
Thank you.
That might be one thing.
What? This is so funny. Look at the blonde. Look at the blonde. This is so funny. Watch. This is so funny. So Myron says, yeah, your ability and your hard work is what prevents you from being a billionaire. And she had a problem with it.
Legal. You know, there's nothing stopping me from becoming a billionaire, but am I going to be a billionaire tomorrow?
Well,
No.
your merit and your hard work is what stops you from being a billionaire.
Merit and hard work is what stops you from being a billionaire. And she has a problem with it. What's the problem? Like, what's the contention? What's the contention? Like, why is she looking like that? Where's the dispute? Jesus Christ. Ay, 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 ay.
That might be one thing, but there's
That's
a
a
lot of
victim
other
mindset to take.
social advantages. No, I feel like that's just acknowledging the descriptive reality. Like, why aren't you a billionaire?
Working towards it.
Working towards being a billionaire?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
It all
but, like,
depends on your mind.
You see that? You see that? Why aren't you a billionaire? Here's why. Because it's not easy. That's why. It is far easier to get pregnant, far easier to get a Noit Roba than it is to become a billionaire. Unbelievable. Desmond Montgomery, member for 11 months, says, yes, her and Blonde came to argue all night. Yeah, that's just what it appears to be. The Fit Comedian with the $5 super chat says, that's like saying you can smoke marijuana in a different state. Why should they have to? Exactly.
mindset.
But
You think that the only thing that's going to determine your income over the span of your lifetime is just a mindset? You don't think it's going to have anything to do with your social circumstances, your upbringing, your
Those are all factors. Those are all factors, but you could have every conceivable advantages. You could have every conceivable advantage and still not become a billionaire. It takes more than advantages.
your educational attainment, how much familial and generational wealth you already have.
I mean, with
your
that,
right-
Whoa. Familial and generational wealth? Now, are we talking about a trust fund baby or a self-made millionaire, billionaire? Come on.
mindset, we can go ahead and look at everybody that made it out of the hood to the NBA or to the NFL, or they were able
No,
to
those are
overcome some
exceptional
crazy.
people.
Yeah.
But they're the exception to the rule. Like
Okay.
most people, you know, anybody could do it, but not everybody can, right?
Here's the
Yeah,
thing.
but I mean, going to a different state to have an abortion with respect, I think that's a slightly
that's true.
different level of
Thank you.
topic than becoming a billionaire.
Thank you.
I mean, if you
I'm
don't
still
like
trying to
that
figure
topic,
out.
trying to draw the
I'm still
parallels
trying
that
to.
Your
Okay.
whole scenario was saying in an idealistic world, men and women are equal and that women are disadvantaged. What can they do besides like the killing baby thing?
Plan B. If a man nuts
What?
in you and you know you don't want to have
We're
a baby,
past that.
plan
We're
B.
past. We're past that.
You see that? You see that? Face tattoo actually just lost the argument for old girl. If you know that a dude's nuts in you, you can go get a plan B. You can go get a plan B and take care of that. But no, women don't want to do that. Well, why should I have to? Well, because you let the dude nut in you.
Why
What
men
was
don't
that,
have
the
birth
last
control?
Okay,
They do.
We
when-
do.
let's move on.
They
from that.
do.
Really?
Yeah,
do.
they
Yes.
do.
You want to move on though.
Yes.
But
Dude, men don't have birth control. We have condoms. That's about it. Condoms and abstinence. That's our birth control.
What is something that women are not able to do that men can do?
Legally, I mean, we had a disagreement over the reproductive rights, but my point is that, like,
Do you have anything else besides that?
no.
Okay,
That's,
so
well, that
Move on. Thank you.
was one example.
Well, she tried to say systemic advantage is what I'm trying to get to, and she's saying that socioeconomic, blah blah blah. But I
Like,
still don't
social-
understand.
There are social advantages that are going to influence like systems of government
Okay.
and have downstream effects that affect.
This, okay, dude. Okay, so how old is this chick? What, 24? 24. This woman, she thinks she's smarter than she is. She thinks she's smarter than she is. She thinks she's intelligent, but she's not. All she's doing is regurgitating talking points from Planned Parenthood websites. That's all she's doing. That's why nothing she says makes sense. That's why when you put her arguments into the crucible of debate, it doesn't make any sense because it doesn't come from her brain. You can always tell that someone's ideas don't come from them if they can't effectively defend their ideas. If somebody makes a statement or a series of statements and someone challenges said statements and they cannot effectively defend those statements, then you know that didn't come from their own head.
affect women specifically.
Give me an example of what affects women negatively that doesn't also affect men.
Body count.
Yeah, socially are
Yeah,
like,
that's straight up.
like, our body count.
That we're talking about rights. We're talking about rights. Body count is a choice, sweet cheeks. Yes, body count is a choice. A woman decides who she sleeps with. Same with men. But it's hard for men to get laid, and it's easy for women to get laid. It's a double standard, yes, but guess what? Life ain't fair.
I agree with
I'm
that.
talking about rights and
He's talking
privileges.
about rights.
Okay,
Rights
so
and
if we're gonna
privileges.
let's talk about privilege, right?
Okay, go ahead. Sure.
If we're talking about how we perceive each other in society, it's a straight up fact that if men apparently sleep with a lot of women, they're seen as a higher status, right?
That's not true.
Who said that? Who said that men who sleep with a lot of women are higher status? No. A man being attractive enough for multiple women to want to have sex with him, that is a natural byproduct of his status. But that's not what gives him status. That's merely a symptom of status.
Yes.
Well, according to a lot of people here, it is, right?
No, it's getting to that point where you can sleep with a lot of women, but having a lot of sex with different women does not make you a high status male.
Oh my God. There you go, Sneako. Thank you. Thank you. There it is, Sneako. There it is. Being able to have sex with a lot of women does not make you a high status man. It doesn't. It doesn't. Take it from somebody who did. Dude, I've had sex with more women than I care to admit. I don't know what my body count is. I don't care. It's a lot. That's all I know. But that's not what gives me my status. What gives me my status is my relationship. What gives me my status is my relationship, my legacy. My legacy is this content. That's what gives me status. My ability to both teach, entertain, and help to improve the lives of both men and women indirectly, that's what gives me status. Not sleeping with a bunch of women.
I'm happy you think that. A lot
That
of men
makes you
don't
ran
think that. Either way,
See that? Sneako just blew her out of the water. She just shrugged it off. All right, I'm just going to go with my diatribe.
you don't see women or you don't see people call men whores after sleeping with a bunch of women.
No, you
Women call women call
them-
women whores first.
Yeah, exactly.
Women call women whores more than men.
I know.
Whoops! Uh-oh! Uh-oh! Uh-oh, Zena's going in, but Zena's right. Zena's 1,000% right. Women do the vast majority of the 304 shaming comes from women. Please believe. Please believe.
But I don't like to see women.
Let's let her, hold on. Let's let her
Women shame
finish her
women.
point, guys. Let's let her finish her point. So, are you trying to help her out with the privilege thing?
Well, yeah, if we're talking about privileges in society.
Can you wait till I get to you then? And then,
yeah,
okay.
Sure.
All right. So you couldn't really name anything outside of random.
No, I could name them, but we have a fundamental disagreement about like to what extent men are entitled to have reproductive rights over women's reproductive.
Dude. Again, now she's missing the point. He asked her, what privileges and rights do men have that women do not? But she wants to go back to the fundamental disagreement that they have that men should have reproductive rights. That's not what this is about. That's not what this is about. See, just like somebody said in the chat earlier, she just came to argue about reproductive rights. That's it. We're not even talking about the original question. Now she wants to argue about why men shouldn't have reproductive rights. That's not the question. We don't talk about what shoulda, coulda, or woulda. We talk about what is.
Reproductive systems.
Okay, we went over that. All right, what about you? Are there any rights or privileges that you could think of that men have that women don't?
No.
No? What about you?
I honestly can't think of
Can't?
anything.
You guys have had
either.
plenty of time to think about it, so I hope y'all got something, if something. Any rights or privileges that men have that women don't?
A privilege. I mean, you guys.
Isn't it funny how when you put these women on the spot, when you put them on the spot, all of a sudden they're as quiet as a goddamn church mouse. But as soon as somebody else is speaking, then they want to gab. Modern women, y'all.
Can feel safer more of the time. Like the privilege is like
That's not true.
when you go outside.
Men are
when you-
66% more likely to be the victims of violent crime.
when you-
Perpetrated by
I'm
other
asking
men,
you
right?
Personally,
Yes.
personally.
So we're all
But she said
in
feeling
danger from
safe.
men.
It doesn't matter who the other person is, but the homicide rate is way higher for men.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We are at risk of
Violent crime in
more.
general. So
Do you feel when you go outside, you normally think like?
No, I
I'm
don't
gonna
like to.
die?
We don't like to walk around with the victim mindset. That's worse. That's going to make you a victim more.
This is so funny. Girls always like to put themselves in direct danger to make themselves the victim. Well, when I walk outside at night in the middle of a bad neighborhood, well, sweetheart, how about we take some personal accountability and not walk alone at night in a bad neighborhood? I can guarantee you that none of these women, when they left the Panorama Tower that night, walking around Brickell, were afraid of violence. I can promise you that. Yet, they want to sit here and cap like they're afraid of being just assaulted at random. Because that's a privilege that we have that they don't. Wrong again. Men are overwhelmingly victims of violence, domestic violence, and homicide. Miami Zoe Life says they don't care about double standards. They only care when it doesn't benefit them. Absolutely. Thank you.
More often.
I don't
if you
think that's
that way.
a victim mindset.
That's
If you're
exactly what it is. If
contending
you
with
walk
reality
around,
that like there are some areas of life and society that are more dangerous than
she
others.
says you
in
walk
specific
around
genders.
scared. Just because I know the homicide rate is higher for men, it doesn't mean that I'm going to walk around scared with pepper spray all the time. I'm just going to move my head on a swivel
And how many of these women have pepper spray in their purse?
and be more confident, be more aware.
or not go into those dangerous areas.
But do you feel more comfortable being a man? Like, oh, if something happens to me, I have more of a potential to save myself.
Not me.
As a man, do you feel like you two as men?
That were more. What's the question?
Do you feel more comfortable, like, if you were walking alone by yourself in the dark, would you feel more comfortable, like, I'm okay?
I would not put myself in that situation. This is the difference between men and women, guys. I say all the time, don't be insecure, be territorial. The main difference between being insecure and being territorial is insecurity is a reaction. Insecurity is reactive. Being territorial is proactive. For example, you take your woman to a bar. You guys are drinking, having fun. You go to the bathroom. Some guy slides up next to your woman, starts hitting on your woman. You're at a bar. You come out of the bathroom. You're like, what the hell? She's with me, blah, 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 blah. You guys get in a fight. The rest is history. That looks like insecurity because he reacted to a situation he allowed to happen. Being territorial is proactive. What would you do in that situation to be territorial? You do not take your woman to the bar or the club in the first place. If you want to go out for drinks, get a table at Applebee's. That's how this goes.
Then who?
Nobody.
Then you?
Than a woman.
Her question, she didn't phrase it correctly. What she's asking you is, do you feel more capable defending yourself against threats as a man versus a
Yeah,
woman?
of course. But the statistics don't reflect that. Like having that victim mindset, that just because you feel more unsafe doesn't mean that you are at risk of violence more than
That's
men.
what you're asking,
I'd
right?
say, yeah, but I wouldn't say it's a victim mindset. It's we have to be more cautious than men.
No, you
That's-
don't.
No, you
The
don't.
statistics do not reflect that.
Maybe you guys.
No, you don't. Women don't have to be more cautious. Men do. Did she not just hear what Sneako just said? Men, we are far more likely to be victims of violent crime and homicide than women. Desmond Montgomery with the $5 super chat. She says, this is a low blow, but she's just mad that she, the girl beside Sneako, can't get pregnant. That's why she's arguing about it so much. Oh, I didn't know that. I mean, how do you know she can't get pregnant?
Put yourselves in that situation for it to be the statistics to be. I'm drunk. Sorry, the statistics to be so high.
Well, that explains a lot.
Though you guys put yourselves in these violent crimes for the statistics to be so high. We females don't engage into that stuff. That's why the statistics are so high.
That could be
But
why.
but normally.
All right, if you're drunk, bro, we gonna move on. Okay.
So what she's saying is that it's men's fault that men are victims of violent crimes more than women. Okay, so that does not change the fact. That does not change the fact that men are victimized by violent crime and homicide more than women. That's all there is to it.
I can
So,
kind
bro,
of see what she's saying. Like,
oh, she did say she can't get pregnant during the show. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know why she argues so vehemently for Noit Roba. Like, I don't know, man.
we're saying, like, because we're more cautious, maybe that's the reason why.
If you were more cautious, you would not be put in precarious situations where your safety is at risk.
Thank you.
Hence, you would not be a victim of violent crime.
So on a normal day,
that's
men walking down the street at night are more safer than women because we end up.
Incorrect. Incorrect. Men are far more likely to be the victims
So
of
what you
violent
guys
crime.
think? What, to get robbed or something?
Yes,
Women too.
absolutely.
To get raped, killed, put in a ditch,
No,
in the
well,
trunk.
look. The thing is, you guys watch too many true crime dramas. The reality is that men are far more likely to be the victims of violent crime than women are. That's just a fact. That's not.
Do you see how these women try to No, that's okay, Night Commander. That's okay. That's okay. Dude, this is a 4-hour podcast. Almost a 4-hour podcast. I'm not breaking the whole thing down. But that's okay. It's all good. That's all right. No problem. That's fine. That's fine. You know, you guys know I don't like for spoilers, but that kind of thing, like, wait a minute, how do we know she can't get pregnant? Yeah, that's something that I needed to know. So I'm not worried about that. But it's funny how these women take something very simple, an objective fact, and they still want to argue with it. Men are victimized by violent crimes and homicide more than women, period. They still want to argue. It's ridiculous. These women watch Law and Order SVU too much. They watch movies too much. Devin says, I think she means that women are more vulnerable being the weaker sex than men. Yeah, I think that's probably what she meant.
Because you guys, I feel like you guys put yourselves in that
It's not
situation.
about.
Ooh, Devin with the comment of the stream thus far. She says, watch a few episodes of the first 48, then come back to this. There you go. That's the difference between A&E and Lifetime. That's the difference. I don't know if you guys watch the first. Dude, Devin and I, we love watching the first 48. And the reason why we love watching it is because it is entertainingly predictable. For example, here's how the beginning. Here is the standard boilerplate beginning of the first 48. Okay? Tulsa, Oklahoma. 911, what's your emergency? Yeah, my cousin got shot. Okay, what's your location? I'm on 244 Grape Street. Y'all gotta get here quick, man, he's dying. Oh, okay, help's on the way. Woo! Then the narrator takes over. 24-year-old LaDaniel Lewis, father of 3, was gunned down in front of his apartment. He leaves behind his 5 children, his mother, and his sister. That's it. Now, of course, that was tongue-in-cheek, but that's kind of the way it is. But the point that Devin was making is that when you watch the first 48, the people who are almost always killed are men. It's always men. Very rarely is there a woman involved. Very rarely is a woman a victim of violent crimes on these shows. Yes, the women are victims of violent crimes. Nobody is disputing that. Nobody's disputing that. But like Myron and Sneako are trying to drill into their skulls, is that men are overwhelmingly the victims of violent crimes and homicide. Just like what Devin said. Go back and watch a few episodes of the first 48 and then talk about it. But like Myron said, they watch too much Law & Order SVU. They're just watching too many movies. It's just not like that. Mangu King with the $5 super chat says, there was a girl that accused 30 guys of EPAR because they took advantage of her being naive. Oh my God. 206 Fresh City with the $1 super chat. I appreciate that. The Fit Comedian with another $2 super chat says, shout out to Sergeant Caroline Mason. I don't know who Caroline Mason is. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back. Let me go back. 24-year-old Laquan Travius Jenkins was gunned down at his home. He was a father of 3 and an aspiring local rapper. He leaves behind his 3 children, his mother, and his sister. He's always an aspiring rapper. Always an aspiring rapper. Good catch there, Dev. Appreciate that. Good catch there. Oh, the Fit Comedian. Oh, my God. That's exactly who that is. Caroline Mason is that's the detective that Devin likes. I think she's like like a brunette or a redhead. Damn, the Fit Comedian actually watches this shit. Yeah, dude, I know about Jason White. There's Loudermilk. Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, I like the guys down in Mobile. The big guy the big guy who played football at Ole Miss. I like him, and then the other skinny guy. I like the Alabama crew. Those are my boys, man. Those are my boys. All right, let's continue.
Well, I feel like, or what I think, or whatever. I'm just telling you what the fact is. Reality. It's just what it is. All right. Are there any rights or privileges that men have that women don't?
I don't know if this is a right or a privilege, but I've worked a very long time in sales, and yes, it's easier for women to sell more because they're women, but it is harder for us to, for example, close a big deal negotiating, because sometimes when they see you as a woman, they might not take you serious. But I don't really know if that's a right or a privilege.
Devin says it's always the detective's cousin that got shot. Yeah, man. Like, hey, Williams, come over here and take a look at this. Oh, man. That's my cousin, man. I just talked to him last week. I told him to get this life. He didn't do it. Now the life got rid of him.
Okay, so you think that
The First 48 is a great show. I fucking love it.
women don't get...
And then, like, just bear with me here. Bear with me. There's always, dude, the first bitch they always bring in is a ratchet, right? The first bitch they always bring in is the ratchet. Juanita Williams, his former ex-girlfriend, has agreed to talk to the police. And then they, like, pixelate her voice. So, who was Laquan Travius with on the night he was murdered? I don't know nothing. Are you telling me that you don't know the name of the gentleman that was with Mr. Jenkins the night of his death? I don't know nothing. All I know is that they call it E. They call him E? Yeah, I don't know his first name and last name. I just know they call it E. Okay, so we need to find out who this E fella is. And don't the niggas always look guilty when you see their mugshots? Like, I'm bad for that. We'll be watching it, and they'll, like, pick up a suspect, and they'll show his mugshot. And I'm like, yep, that nigga did it. He's guilty. Guilty as a motherfucker. Right? And then they'll be like, do you know of anyone who would want to hurt Mr. Jenkins? Well, I don't know. He was always cool with me. Okay, so there's no one that you know that would want to do him harm. No, he was cool with everybody in the neighborhood. And this E character, that's the man that you saw him with. Look, you don't know his last name? I don't know his first name and last name. Just call it E. All right. We'll be in touch. Okay, listen.
Taken seriously in...
Sometimes in negotiations.
Okay.
Yeah, Devin says innocent until Donovan sees his mugshot. Dude, when I see the mugshot, I'm like, yep, that nigga's guilty. Oh my goodness. Ken Rose with the $5 super chat says men are also more likely to be profiled and targeted by police. Absolutely.
Okay. Do you think that has to do with your inherent gender?
They just call it E.
Or rather your skill set, knowledge, and ability to close the deal?
Gender when it comes to
All right, yeah, we're gonna kill the Twitch stream. Come on.
Wait. Hold up. If a woman is a negotiator, like, women closing deals doesn't have anything to do with their gender. If they're a good negotiator and they know what they're doing, especially if they're negotiating with a man, we as men, we are reasonable and rational. If we see a deal, if we're negotiating with someone, we're not thinking, she's a woman, I don't want to negotiate. No. If she's going to help me get the best deal, then absolutely. Jesus Christ. The Fit Comedian with the $5 super chat says, he said Caroline Mason. I just bit my goddamn tongue. I bite my tongue a lot. He said Caroline Mason was out of Memphis. She was the OG of the show. She did a skit with Ricky Smiley as Lil Daryl witnessing a crime. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about who was the lady? There's another lady. She's a detective in Atlanta, on the Atlanta crew. All right. Anyway.
On over to Rumble, guys. Rumble.com/freshandfit, because we said simple a few times.
Oh, yeah, they said simple. So yeah, it's
over. Where was I?
Okay, so I asked you because you said you have issues being a woman. You have issues closing deals and being taken seriously in a boardroom. And I'm saying, is it realistically because you're a woman? Rather, is it because of an inability to speak correctly? Maybe you dress a certain way that they don't take.
21-year-old Jamarcus McDougal, an aspiring rapper from the West Side, was gunned down in front of his home.
You seriously? Maybe your tonality sucks. Maybe you're just not.
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yes,
Detective Summer Benton. That's who she is. All right, we're way off topic. Let me stay focused. First 48, guys. That's a great show. Shout out Annie.
Sometimes it's a very
shout out Detective Benton.
Very a masculine business that normally men negotiate in. So then that's why this female. Why would I close this big deal with a female? Or
if he thinks of a female as less than, if he If he thinks of a female as less than, wouldn't he want her at the negotiating table because he thinks she might be less capable? Right? Scotty S. with the $5 super chat says, Donovan, calling out my city, Tulsa. Said, speaking of privilege, in homicide, when a man dies, crickets. When a woman dies, complete bedlam. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't know. I feel like sometimes
Merch.
we get seen like that.
Okay.
But I do think, for example, in domestic violence, when it comes to the law, we do have a lot of right because they always go with what the woman says.
Yeah. But the question was, what rights and privileges does a man have that you don't?
You just said the opposite.
Honestly, no.
Nothing.
Can't think of
much.
anything? The only one you could think of is maybe the boardroom of sales?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's it.
What about you?
The difficulty with that is, of course, it gets anecdotal because, like, for example, in the media industry, in the advertising industry in the UK, most of the people in senior positions are now female, and they're closing big deals, and they're getting those deals done. So,
and that's really because of like affirmative action type laws. Like companies are encouraged to hire women to meet certain quotas. So I don't know what privilege they're talking about.
we'd have to drill down into the data to see if that's really accurate or not. But
And that's why.
And by the way, what A&E has started doing now is I'm going to get off this, I promise, guys. What A&E has started doing now when they air these first 48s in Tulsa, they've started to air these commercials. Why you should live in Tulsa. Come to Tulsa. It's a great city. We're like, okay. Like when people tune in, like, dude, I'm going to tell you what. If I ever decided to move to Oklahoma, and I'm not, I ain't moving to Tulsa. Because niggas die every day in Tulsa. And that's probably why they decided to do the commercials. Okay. All right. I'm done.
I asked you, is it really your gender or is it your ability? Okay. What about you? What right or privilege do women have that men don't? Or sorry, do men have that women don't? Excuse me.
What privileges do men have that women
privileges
that
rights
do
and
men-
privileges that men have that women don't?
And
if you can't think of one, it's fine. I'll move on.
Yeah, just move on.
Fantastic.
Come back to me, maybe.
What about you, Zena? Can you think of one? Or?
Rights-wise, I've read the Bill of Rights, and women and men are equal. When it comes to that, they have the same rights. Privilege, women have
Damn, Zena's a gangster.
their vagina.
Okay.
So there's nothing that men have. There's no advantages that men have.
I mean, okay, privilege-wise, I guess men, okay, if we get into it, they have their strength, they have their skill, they have logical thinking. They're more, they're just more logical. So
That's not a privilege. That's just an advantage. It's just an advantage. Listen, man, life ain't fair. We're bigger, faster, stronger. We think more critically, et cetera, et cetera. There are exceptions to the rule. But as we all know, the exception never makes the rule.
and tactical.
All right.
Yeah, strength.
What about you?
Yeah, everything was already said. We can move on.
Okay. Go ahead. I know you're opinionated on this. Sure. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Take
no,
it.
I have
Well,
a-
before I go to you, because I know you're going to be opinionated. What about you? A right or privilege that men have that women don't?
Well, I don't agree that most men are more logical than women, but
I don't agree that most men are more logical than women. Sweetheart, just because you don't believe it, just because you say you don't believe it, doesn't mean you don't, number one. Number two, it doesn't mean it's not true.
good privilege I would say y'all have is being able to whip it out and piss. That's all. Man, I wish I could just do that sometimes.
Okay.
But
Okay, all right. Fair enough. Okay, she finally named one. But guess what? If we whip it out and piss in public, we're going to jail. When's the last time a woman got arrested for indecent exposure?
But logically, the logic thing that you're saying it's a fact. Men are a lot more logically sound and rational than women are. That has been.
that's what you guys.
That's why they run the world.
That's not a fact.
No,
It's
that's
not
a
a fact.
feeling.
That's a men opinion.
She said that's not a fact. Are you kidding me with this?
That is 1,000% a fact. If I
I'm
lined
sorry,
up,
ladies.
look, we have to have some kind of like.
Every man I've ever met.
Stop the cap.
Here we go. Now they're going to start lying to win the argument.
Like understanding here, basic concept of how the world works.
I guess and more logical than every man I've ever met.
Man, okay, your personal experience does not necessarily reflect reality. Just because you may be an exceptional woman when it comes to the ability to deductive problem solve does not mean that other women can do that. Everything that you guys see was built by men. Everything that you see that's been invented by men. Men are deductive problem solvers. Men built the first world that you guys currently enjoy now. Women don't really build or contribute to society like that. Women extract resources and use them. Men create the resources. It's been that way. That's a fact.
It's probably
Hold on. Stop interrupting, dude. Stop interrupting. All right. So the reason why I say that men are more rationally sound and deductive problem solvers is because the world that you guys enjoy right now has been created by men. And the reason why men are more rational, if you look at STEM, science, technology, engineering, or math, fields that typically tend to be more rationally sound, deductive problem solving, are dominated by men. This isn't up for debate. Men and women's brains are 100% wired differently. Men prioritize ration and logic. Women prioritize emotion.
Okay, so like, what's the problem?
Okay, I think that's really interesting.
Translation, I disagree. I think that's really interesting.
Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Well, before you do that, did you want to hit
Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions? She's going to try to play gotcha with Myron. Give me a break.
the privilege thing? Because I know that can go into another tangent.
Oh, I can go really long on the privilege thing,
sure
but
you
I'll
can,
try to
sweetie.
keep it short.
Go ahead.
So
We'll get back to the I can't believe that we can't agree on that, but we'll come back to the male and female, logic and rational. But if I lined up 100, so just to finish, if I lined up 100 men and 100 women, those men would be far more rationally sound than those women.
okay.
And the world you enjoy nowadays is the byproduct of men being
If something
rational,
happens,
deductive problem
the
solvers.
reason we're able to be in this room and sit down and talk about this is because if something goes down, we're going to call a man. We're going to call the policeman. We're going to call the security. If there's a fire, we're going to call the firemen. Men are the reason that we're even able to be in here talking about this and debating a subject that everybody.
Sneako's right, but I don't think that has anything to do with, well, maybe it does have to do with logic, but Sneako's right, but I don't know what this has to do with the logic argument.
Can actually understand.
Do you not think that there are like female
Oh my God, do you not think that there are female firefighters? Here we go. Here we go. If a woman was being assaulted and she calls the cops, do you think she would feel any better if there were 2 female police officers? Of course not. If a woman was trapped in a building, in a burning building, and a female fighter emerges to save her, do you think she's going to be confident? Dude, women, well, what about the women? No, women don't even want to work with each other. Females overwhelmingly prefer male bosses. Like, come on, let's stop.
Okay, wait.
All right, but let's go back to the privilege thing, and we can go ahead and talk about that. But sure, go ahead. The original question. So, what privileges or rights do men enjoy that women do not?
Men are seen as more capable, even in circumstances that they're not.
Like what?
Such as?
Okay, so for example, Yale had an interesting study. They actually had 2 different studies.
Mhm.
One of them involved a list of resumes where they had resumes of women that were a lot more qualified than the men. Now, when they gave the resumes to the scientists to decide who would you hire, who would you not, for example, they would always pick the men, even though the women were more qualified. Now, when they blanked the names, when they couldn't see who was male, who had a male-sounding name, who had a female-sounding name, guess what? The women were picked more when they had a better reputation in those resumes. Another example of this is...
This is cap. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Stats and statistics and studies are, to me, they're bullshit. Because everyone at that table would readily admit that statistics can be made to look like or say whatever you want. It can literally be made. Here's the thing. So she just said, well, Yale did a study. Well, I could say, well, Harvard did a study. Harvard did a study and it proved the opposite. So whose study or statistic is valid? Right? This is what feminists like to do. They like to bring up studies and statistics. But then when men bring up studies and statistics, then they start asking the questions. Well, wait a minute, who was the study done by? And what qualifies as qualified? What was the data set? What was the sample size? Women like to hold up their statistics and studies as gospel, but then when a man references statistics and studies, they start to question it. This is the move.
Is when it comes to music, for example, they did a study where they were deciding, okay, who's going to be in the orchestra, who's not.
Devin says, I'll take an underqualified man willing to learn than an overqualified woman who can't shut up. Damn, Devin is on her game today. Devin is on her game today, man. Maybe it's because she's newly engaged. You guys see what happens? You guys see what happens when women get engaged? They get on their game. King Life says that's the same thing Destiny does. Oh, exactly. Dude, of course he does.
Et cetera, et cetera. The men were always
not et cetera, it's et cetera. That's why it's ETC.
Overwhelmingly picked until they decide to have blind auditions where curtain down, you can only hear the music. Guess what? It started being 50-50 when it came to picks of music. So those are two small examples of how men are seen to be more qualified even when they're not.
You said see, here's the thing. She said qualified. She just said qualified, but in the beginning she said capable. Being qualified and being capable are two very different things. You might be capable of doing something. That doesn't necessarily mean you're qualified to do it. So again, we're using these words interchangeably. Very clever.
That's kind of like my
I'm
example.
familiar even with that second study. They had to conduct it one more time because a variable that they didn't account for was that women were more likely to wear high heels, and that the sound of their high heels clicking across the stage impacted the judge's ability to neutrally judge them blind.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Guys, what this comes down to look. What this comes down to, guys. What this comes down to, gentlemen. Western women live the best lives of any class of human on the planet in history. And all they do is bitch and moan about what they can't or won't get. That's all they do. Women live lives of absolute privilege. Absolute privilege. Double standards abound. Women live these comparatively easy lives without strife, without conflict. As a matter of fact, women's lives are so easy, it's almost as though they're looking for something to be pissed off about. They are looking for something to be pissed off about. And just like Jay Blaze said, these are first world problems. These are first world problems. OMG, I didn't make the Philharmonic because he heard the sound of my high heels. OMG, I didn't get the corporate job that I wanted because I was discriminated as a woman. Boo fucking who? Men are discriminated against 10 times more than women. 10 times more than women. But women are pissed off that we are more physically and mentally capable than they are. Then they want to cry discrimination. This is why I always say the more you give women, the more they want. The more you give women, the more they want. Ay. JC says qualifications and real life situations are two different things. Absolutely. Devin also says because women bring drama to the office. Jesus Christ. Ice Dragon Kid says she has no actual opinions. She keeps go back to school, so she keeps going back to school because it's the only place her nonsense is backed up. I would agree with that. Miami Zolife says, just ask the ladies how many of them are about to attend a Super Bowl or NBA All-Star game for free. I don't know that they could do that, but okay. JC also says exactly why we don't see women building skyscrapers. That is exactly that is exactly right. That is exactly right. So for those of you guys just joining me, I have told Devin and I are getting married.
What's up, guys?
We are going to do it. We're going to do it privately. We are going to do it without the state or the government involved. We're going to have a nice ceremony. I'm going to get Devin a proper ring. You know, I'm gonna get her a nice ring. I'm not gonna spend $20,000 on it, but I'm gonna, you know. And the reason I'm doing this is because Devin deserves it. Devin deserves it. She's been ride or die for 7 years, man. She's been ride or die for 7 years. So we're not doing the we're not signing anything. We're just going to do the private marriage. Yes, we are going to have the ceremony in Miami, and the bridesmaids are Tallulah, Janelle, Pearl, and the maid of honor. Devin's maid of honor is going to be Allie of Real Femme Sapien. I don't know who my groomsmen will be because there are so many choices. However, Myron Gaines has agreed to be my best man. Myron Gaines has agreed to be my best man. It's gonna be a small, cute ceremony. We'll have the cake and the dance and all that good stuff. I'm now going to refer to Devin as my fiance. And when we get married, she will then be my wife. She'll wear a wedding ring. I'll wear a wedding ring. Now, I want you guys to keep in mind that this does not change anything. Doesn't change our relationship. Doesn't change the conditions. My love for Devin will be 100% conditional. Devin's love for me will be 100% conditional. If we don't continue to provide the value to each other that we do, our relationship will be over. Our relationship will be over. So that's not changing. Something else to note is that this doesn't guarantee anything. The wedding is not even guaranteed, right? Devin could go feral between now and then. I could decide to move on between now and then. Nothing's guaranteed, but if things stay the way they are, barring any unforeseen circumstances, we are going to get married in the fall. Going to have a nice ceremony. Allie is going to be the maid of honor. Myron Gaines has agreed to be my best man. Devin is also going to get her last name changed. She is going to technically take my last name. She's going to take my last name. And, oops, I think somebody accidentally. All right, I got you here. I unhid you. There you go. Cigar Man 85 is like, oops. And so yeah. And when we get married, that doesn't guarantee our relationship either. Same conditions apply. Now, I've done things to mitigate the risk. I've got things going on to mitigate the risk. Right? Number one, we live in a state that does not recognize common law marriage. That's the first thing. So if Devin decides to leave, there's no paperwork involved. She can't take anything that I don't give to her. But on the flip side, if I'm the one that decides to leave the relationship, then I have money set aside for Devin. She gets to keep the Range Rover that I bought her for her birthday. It's bought, completely paid for, brand new. It's in my name. But if I decide to move on, I will sell her the Range Rover for $1, put it in her name, and she will walk away with a substantial amount of money that will make sure she is good to go. So Devin's going to be all right. And I bought her a set of fake tits. So that will hopefully increase the odds of her maybe attracting a man with some value. Who knows? But I'm excited about it, and the reason I'm doing this is because Devin deserves it. We've been together for 7 years. And listen, man, we've had our ups and downs. Our relationship is not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But Devin is fit, feminine, friendly, and as far as I know, faithful. She adds value to my life. I enjoy spending time with her. We have fun together. We've had many great adventures together. We've experienced many firsts together. She's paid her dues. She deserves it. I think I've called her my girlfriend. I think I've called her my girlfriend for long enough. She has put in enough work. She's put in more than enough work proven herself time and time again to have earned the title of being my wife. So I'm just going to give her the title. State's not going to give her the title. Government's not going to give her the title. I'm giving her the title. She has auditioned for 7 years for the role. Suffice it to say, I'm confident she can play the role. Now, could Devin go feral at any time for any reason? Of course. Of course. Nothing is impossible. But at this point, I am confident in saying, I'm confident in declaring that is far more likely than not. Nothing's impossible. Nothing's impossible, but I've got a 7 year sample size. I've got a 7 year sample size. I'm pretty confident. And guys, there are no guarantees. There are no guarantees. A lot of men in this space who consume red pill content, it appears that they want a risk-free relationship. Guys, relationships are never risk-free. There is always going to be a level or a measure of risk. Nothing comes without risks or costs. I am well aware of that. I have things in place that mitigate my risk. Hopefully those things will hold. Hopefully those things will hold. But again, if I decide to leave the relationship, Devin keeps the range, or I will sign I'll sign the title to the range over to her. She'll have her nest egg, and oh by the way, she's got SEO skills. She builds websites. She builds apps. So I think she'll be okay. I think she'll be okay. She won't, honestly, she wouldn't. Truthfully, Devin won't really, she won't have to work if she doesn't want to. She doesn't have, she will not have, now that I'm thinking of it, she won't have to work if she doesn't want to. Right? Now, if Devin decides to leave the relationship, she ain't getting shit. If she comes to me and says, Donovan, sorry, I want out. Hey, I bid you farewell. Good luck with everything. No, she ain't getting shit. But if I decide to leave the relationship for whatever reason or no reason at all, it is only fair that I compensate her for the time, the work, and the effort that she's put in. Devin has, like I said, I'd be fine in life without Devin, but my life is better with her in it. It is. It is. And at the end of the day, man, everybody wants a relationship. That's really why we're all here. We all know, in the end, men and women are always better together. Shane Will Win says, accept the tits. Well, here's the thing. I bought her tits because, of course, I wanted her tits to look better, but her having nicer tits gives her a little bit more sexual market value when and if we ever decide to go our separate ways. So for those of you guys who have missed it, here is the video of my proposal.
Man, Donovan Sharpe, coming to you live. There we go. Very good. Yeah, I'm about to, I'm actually getting ready to walk into the gym, and I'm just going to tell Devin we're going to get married.
Yeah, but I didn't ask her, gentlemen. I told her we're going to get married. I knew she was going to agree to it. That's why, don't get on one knee. Will you marry me? No. I walked into the gym and said, we're getting married. And that was the end of it.
I'm not going to ask her. I'm just going to be like, hey, we're getting married. That's all there is to it. Hang on a second. What do you think, Chester? We good? All right. All right, so here goes. Go through the laundry room.
Devin's going to be like, oh my God, I look terrible. Well, you're working out. You're supposed to look terrible.
Of course, Devin sucks at laundry.
Yes, she does.
Hey, we're getting married. Yeah. You look overjoyed. Wave to the people. All right, that's it. All right, That's it. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. You just tell her. You just tell her it is what it is. Now, here's the deal. We're getting married, but we're not getting legally married. No way I would ever get legally married. We're gonna do the private marriage thing, and I'll explain more on my live stream today at 3:30. Thanks for all the congratulations. You guys take care.
All right. And that is how it wasn't a marriage proposal. It wasn't a marriage proposal. I think it was more or less a marriage notification. Marriage notification. So congratulate. Listen, you guys can congratulate me all you want to. There's no need to congratulate me. I'm good. Congratulations needs to go to Devin because it's very, very difficult. It's very difficult to be with a guy like me. It really, really is. But like I said, man, Devin, she makes me happy. She puts up with my crap. She puts up with my shenanigans. She puts up with my craziness. And she does it all with a smile, at least most of the time, right? She does it with a smile most of the time. She willingly does literally whatever I ask her to do. Whatever I ask her to do, she willingly does it. She trusts me implicitly, and her trust in me has allowed me to improve her in literally every conceivable way. Devin says, you know what's guaranteed? Oh, chicken Alfredo for dinner. Oh, that's right. Damn, Dev, I told you about them carbs, man. Devin says the tits are to keep Donovan's attraction, not a parachute. Tomato, tomato. Devin also says the sex this last weekend was so good, Donovan's putting a ring on it. Ha ha ha. Yeah, man, my dick game was on point. My dick game was on point this weekend. Yeah, like that was some good sex we had. Oh, you got garlic bread sticks too? Damn, Devin, you trying to sabotage a nigga. That's all right. I pushed it hard in the gym, so I think I should be all right. But yeah, man, congratulations to Devin. Like I said, man, and I tell guys all the time. Do not. You have to make a woman earn your commitment. You have to make a woman earn your commitment because women only value what they are required to work for. The reason why Devin values my commitment is because I made her work for it. And I make her work for it every single day. That's why she appreciates it every single day. So many guys are in relationships with women that they did not require to work for their commitment. Is there any wonder why women are just so quick to walk away from relationships? Well, of course. Well, they didn't invest anything. They didn't work for it. They didn't fight for it. They were just given commitment for literally doing nothing but existing. Of course they're going to walk away. Devin also says the cake is what it's all about, let's be honest. Okay, you got me there. I'm actually using this whole wedding thing as an excuse to eat cake and not be judged for it. Hey, man. Hey. You know how that goes. So, yep, that's the big announcement. That is the big announcement. Jay Wood with the $2 super chat says, I agree with the way you were doing it. No courts. Absolutely. Devin says, you make me feel safe. Cigarman85 says, Donovan is only getting married if the Eagles win the Super Bowl. No, I can't pin that on the Eagles. We'll see. But, oh, wow. Devin also says, if I don't have Donovan, I don't have anything. Nothing else matters. Yeah, it's funny. I've actually run that scenario. Sometimes I'll joke around with her every once in a while. And I'll be like, what if I gave you $50,000 to break up? And she's like, no, And I'm like, 100,000? No, 5. She's like, stop trying to put a price on it. Are you really thinking about it? I'm like, no, I'm just fucking around with you. Like, just. But if I, no. Devin, if I decide to leave Devin financially, she's gonna be all right. She'll be all right. She's gonna be all right. That is going to do it for this, the 930th edition of TSR Live. Thank you to all of my super chatters, my supporters, my Sharpe Stream members, and patrons. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.
I will never decide. I close my eyes and bridge the